Happy Monday. It is the 14th of August. Welcome to TDA the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. Let's get to know our host for today.
It's your boy, Big Marsh from the east side of the bridge. Morning, people.
I'm your favorite shade queen, Martin Royalty.
It's your girl, Just Jane, representing the Black Queens in the fitness scene. Ow.
Here we go.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
Morning, Christy, Queen of BOE, back in the building.
It's giving CEO and CFO. Love that. How's everyone doing?
Fine, thanks.
The
Why
silence
you
is
cut to me
deafening.
No, because everybody just went quiet.
Everyone really went quiet. How's everyone's weekend? What did everyone get up
I'll
to?
be honest with you, my eyes are open.
But you're not here.
Yeah.
You're here, but you're not her.
What'd you
I hear
do?
you.
Huh?
What'd you do?
I was just working.
To be honest, my eyes look tired. Okay.
Huh?
They look tired.
Feel
You keep saying,
tired.
huh?
Can't hear properly when I'm tired. I filmed Pen Game, done a few episodes of that. And then afterwards I went to R&B. Slow jam.
Of
So.
course you did. You sang at your heart.
That's the thing, because you don't even attend an event and just be an attendee.
You commit.
You're a performer. You're there.
Especially slow jam, he be into it.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
That is your bag.
That's my shit, man. I'm
Do
the king
more
of,
work than Chucky and flipping Taser themselves.
I'm the king of R&B, man.
Love that for you.
But I'm tired, man.
I can imagine.
Sorry. I'm tired as well.
Say so. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Christy, where were you last night?
I was at Dio's event, level 4.
Who?
Dio.
What's that?
It's a
Are you rude? That's a person's name.
It's a person's name.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
D-boy.
Yeah, D-boy, yes.
Okay, cool. How was it?
It was good.
Okay.
That's lovely.
Was Tina there?
You know she was.
Because she answered your phone.
Yeah.
That girl's a witch.
Wow.
How was your...
I'm sure she's listening.
How was the trip, A-man?
Oh, yeah. How was
Skegness.
Stonehenge, man?
Stonehenge, where? That's it. That's in Skegness. Sorry.
What? That's it. That's Skegness.
Wherever you
I
went.
didn't go to Stonehenge. I was going past Stonehenge.
Your
Like,
co-founder told us she went. That's where you went, though.
where did you go though? For real,
I went to like near the Devonny area.
The devil.
Devon.
I even
Devon.
kissed my
Devon,
teeth. You make it sound like it's even better.
Devon
Where?
I've been
area.
to Devon.
What?
You went to
Devon.
Devon.
I went to Devon.
Oh,
Devon.
Devon. I
Wow.
thought you
It's
said
a Devon
How
area.
can you say it doesn't matter? I
It
said, have you
doesn't
been there?
matter.
You say it doesn't matter.
Devon, you know.
You should go there.
Just coming to do staycations.
No, you should go there.
I'm okay, thank
The
you.
home-
The
That's
home of the
expensive
clotted
there.
cream. That's where you
Yeah,
were.
it's all of that type of
Oh,
stuff.
the what?
Clotted cream.
Yeah.
Ew.
So what was you having scones? Yeah.
No, I just had my...
With jam and
That's
clotted
not
cream.
No, I didn't.
It's
I didn't.
And drinking tea
my
with
God.
your...
It's vegan. With your pinky up.
With your pinky
impossible.
up. Impossible.
It was just one of those, like a family trip, innit? So, like, a bit of us just went there
That's sweet.
and just, just chilled in that, man.
Love
It
that
was,
for
a
you.
it was a nice spot, man.
I love
yeah.
it. That's good.
Where's like a cabin?
It was like one of these. It was like a huge house, innit? So they had like a pool, they had a jacuzzi type thing, they had the cinema
Kids
room,
are
they
having a
had
great time.
all of that type of stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's
man.
it.
It was nice, man.
Must be nice.
So did you stop off at Stonehenge though?
No. I should have though. Just tell them the
Well, I mean,
connection.
it was on your stories, so I don't know why you didn't.
No, because I've got places to be, man. You know.
Sorry. Devon ambassador.
Have you not been to Stonehenge?
No.
No. What's wrong with Stonehenge though?
I don't know where it is. I didn't know that was a place until you were there.
Oh, is it? No, it's,
No, I
it's a
don't
place,
know.
man.
Is Mark saying, is that where the witches in there?
You know that's a witchcraft thing. Principalities and all that.
Man said principalities. Wow. Don't finish me.
That's so funny, man. All right. Well, question of the day. What is your favorite way to make decisions?
Cool Brent.
Mm.
What did you say?
Cool Brent.
Hug.
Hug.
Ew.
What do you mean?
That just sounds so...
He said hug. I said hug.
I know. It's made me cringe.
Sorry.
What are we doing here? What is my favorite way to make decisions? I actually just sit in things. I don't act on things as soon as they happen. Like I like to just sit in things. I pray about it, and I see whatever is that gives me peace. But you know, sometimes you just know what you're meant to do in it.
Mm.
I
You're
go
just
based
longing
on-
out the process.
I go based on feeling a lot though.
You go based on feeling.
Like how I feel about something.
Okay.
Like if my heart's not in it, do you know what I mean? Like
Okay, I get you. Yeah.
I have to. My heart has to be in it for me to want to do it. If
Okay,
if I have like resistance, or if I think, do you know what I mean? Then I'm like, oh. I hate that feeling
Yeah.
because then it feels forced.
Yeah.
I
Do you know
get
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I like to weigh things up. Like, I love a pro and con, risk versus reward type of vibe.
Well, for all decisions or big
I don't think I even
decisions.
do that.
Not like lunch, obviously. I'm thinking about life decisions. Like, life decisions I always think about, that I literally sit down properly and think about it, meditate on it for a while. I can't just act on something.
Sometimes I do though.
Yeah.
I'll just do it. I'll be like, fuck it.
I
You gonna
can't-
fuck around and I'm gonna
the
find out.
All right, and I do. I will find out.
I can't lie. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Type of babe.
It literally depends. Yeah, sometimes
I've
it's
done
like,
that, and boy, that was not a good idea.
I'm prone to that. Boy.
I was watching something just yesterday actually, and it was talking about how what this particular person was talking about. He believes that people with high IQs are not necessarily the best at getting things done. Do you guys believe that?
why?
Yeah, because they get people to do it.
Not really, not necessarily.
What, as
It's
in they
mo-
procrastinate?
exactly. So basically, because
Okay.
it's such a high IQ, they consider so many different possibilities.
Overthinking.
Yeah.
It's overthinking every single thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's lovely. My IQ
But
is high then.
but those who don't necessarily have the highest IQ, it's like, okay, I thought about 3 or 4 possibilities here, action. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'll be overthinking. Like, I'll think of something and think of the possible outcome that could possibly have, and what the possible, like, what could possibly go wrong with that option, kind of thing.
Yep. And then think again. And then
Yeah,
this
this is
and
it.
then
It's
this
just
and
long
this.
sometimes, man. And then I just need a nap. Because I'm just like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Then I take a nap. And I wake up, the problem is still there. And it's like, oh, we go again. Yeah.
I don't have problems making decisions. I don't think, and things that I feel like I know, if anyway.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then I'll probably try and gather some information and opinions and get some clarity.
Yeah.
But things that I think I know,
Just go.
yeah, I could just make decisions.
Oh, yeah.
I don't usually, well, it's not even like I'm thinking of all the different outcomes. If it's something that I'm confident in, I usually feel like I know the outcome. I mean, I could be wrong, but I wouldn't even second guess it and say, oh, this can go wrong or this can go wrong. I'd be like, I'm going to do that. This is going to happen. And then if I need to adjust along the way, then I'll just adjust.
Oh, yeah. Brent? Eman?
I guess it's a similar type of thing to what you're saying. I think about different possibilities. But again, it depends what it is.
Yeah.
If it's something that I feel like is kind of out of my control, I can't see around the corner with it,
Yeah.
then definitely I got to pray. But if
Oh,
it's
you pray?
Me, of course I do.
I'm sorry, I don't
To
really
which
know. Where
God?
I don't know.
To which God?
Don't really know where you
The
sit.
true and living black God. That's who.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
They didn't answer my
The
question.
only God that's
happy
alive.
Monday to everybody.
But yeah, but if it's something else, like something that's more trivial, then yeah, just kind of go
Yeah,
with
those
it.
ones are not too bad. It just, I feel that's part of life.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the big ones, I definitely have to take to the Lord in prayer because I'm just a girl.
When you say pray, Emanuel, like what does it look like?
I was literally about to ask. I want you to walk me through it.
Okay, I get out my mat, then I'll wait for you to
You
say
have a mat?
something. I'm joking.
So 'cause clearly it's a different. That's why I was like, oh, okay,
So that face Mecca.
right.
Great.
Yeah, just basically praying and then kind of I guess maybe just looking for certain signs to me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe something that I would perhaps maybe feel more peace in, and then that would be like, okay, yeah, this maybe should be the direction I'll kind of go with it, if that makes sense.
It makes sense because that's how when I pray, that's kind of what tends to happen. Is that whatever decisions I'm weighing up, the one I'm meant to do, I have more peace over that one. Never more peace. I have peace over that. That is a calmness, even if it might not be something I want to do, but there is just a peace surrounding that decision. Yeah. Brent, what's your process looking like?
I mull over all of the options and I go with the one that is the sweetest
All right.
to my spirit.
Love that. Okay, it's good. Well, let's get the show on the road. Let's get into headlines. I have to give Gina her props.
Why?
You know the hijack?
Girl.
Sick. Girl.
Lit in it.
Sick.
Told you.
Sick. Brent, have you watched it?
What, you want to talk about it?
No, have you watched it though?
Not yet.
You should. I think you like it.
What's that? Idris on the plane?
Yeah. It is so sick, yeah.
Really good. I enjoyed it.
Is every episode? How many? Is it like a film?
7 episodes.
7 episodes, but
Is every episode on the plane?
No.
Okay.
well,
Like
I mean,
no, it is, but it
they're
isn't,
boarding the
like,
plane and they get off the plane.
But
In the
no,
7 episodes.
No, but I'm saying like there's other scenes, like
There's
the
other-
headquarters,
yeah.
the people in the UK,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
family, like
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. So it's I get it. I hate watching things where everything is based in one scene. It's not like that.
Okay. Cool.
it's really good though.
It's actually really good.
It made me so.
The
When I
plot
got on-
twist.
when I got onto the plane because
Oh,
I
is
was
it?
traveling. Then after I watched it, I
Oh,
can't lie.
not a good idea.
I was on edge.
That's not a good
I'm,
idea.
I'm an anxious flyer though. I think
Because-
one of the worst things I watched was what's that Denzel Washington thing? Is it called Flight?
Yeah.
I watched it on the plane.
Oh wow.
Oh,
And I just,
that's not a good
but you
idea.
know
Yeah,
what's
that's not a
dumb?
good idea.
Even in the script that came up with, oh, if you're an anxious flyer, don't watch this film. I said, yeah, press play.
Press play.
oh,
I watched it
Yeah.
and thought, nah, this is why I don't
I
like
couldn't.
planes.
That is not a smart idea at all. But that film gets you thinking because this morning when I was driving, I saw a plane. I said, "Why are you my sights? Why can I see you this low? That don't sound right." But it's really good. I think we should watch it. Everyone should watch it, and then we'll talk about it. It's really, really good.
Have you guys seen Paradise? Netflix. I think I'm gonna make a topic of the day from it, man. I think you lot should watch it.
I added it. Is it a film or a series?
It's a film. Yeah, it's
a film?
It's a film. Yeah. It's a film.
Okay.
It's basically about some new technology being developed here, where you can basically sell years of your life to somebody else, obviously for money or whatever.
Like a game.
It's not really, because it's like proper consequences.
Is it?
Yeah, because you're literally saying, okay, you know what? Maybe I need, my family's in poverty or whatever, God forbid. And the only way for us to get out of this particular situation, move to a better neighborhood or whatever, is for us to raise X amount of money to maybe start a business, whatever it may be. So you're looking for £500,000, for example.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, you can sell us 10 years of your life.
10 years for 500,000?
Yeah, potentially, yeah. It happened to one of the guys on the show, in fact.
For 500,000?
Well, for €700, 700,000 euros.
I thought he said 700 euros. Like he's cheap. He does not know his worth.
Yeah, and he was 18, so he would have had to sell, I think, 10 years.
But do you know
10
what-
or 15 years, in
Do
fact.
you know when you're gonna die though?
No, you still die as like normal, right? But basically what happens is you actually age.
But I mean, like, do you know?
No, you don't know when you're going to die. No. It's just like normal life.
Because what if I
don't
give you
know.
5 years, but that's all I had left?
Then...
Ah.
No, but it wouldn't be like that. Because
Oh,
it's not a spiritual thing. It's more so like
Okay.
how it is here, how we just don't know, right? And it just ages you. So basically overnight, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'll
over
just have
a matter of
wrinkles.
nights, you basically, exactly. You just be your 30, 40-year-old version of you.
Oh hell
Is
no.
it?
And that life would have gone to this person who can afford to buy it from
And
you.
then they will go younger.
And they'll get younger.
But you know the only
You
thing
do
with
Disney
that,
Channel
though,
Freaky
yeah?
Friday.
So you know, I still need to watch it. Stephen Butler's interview with the guy who's doing. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, maybe we should watch it and talk about it. Sorry, I know I'm a little homework, but there's this guy,
this is
American
identity.
guy, right? And he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And he's basically like shaved years off his life based on like tech and medicine and whatnot.
Oh, in real life?
And yeah. And obviously he's done stuff with his son. So like he doesn't look younger, but based on his genes and like his body and what his biological age is younger than he actually is.
Oh, is it?
But obviously he spent loads of money doing it. And I watched like snippets of the interview. I need to watch the whole interview. And his life is, when I say his life is so regimented, like it's nuts. Like even his food and his diet and what he eats is crazy. It's like it's basically about like optimum like health and stuff,
Yeah.
but like not what the average person is even going to consider doing. It's not of the norm. But
Yeah.
when I was watching that, I was like, but do you know what's crazy about this? Yeah, you're doing all of this to extend your lifespan, right? So you can live over 100 or whatever. Yeah, but Charlie, you can go out tomorrow and get hit by a bus, and then what?
Literally.
Do you get what I mean? So even with that, it's like I'm gonna buy someone's life or years of their life, but I can end up in a car crash.
They use
and
it
then what?
Yeah,
responsibly.
but you could though. But none of us
No,
live
I
our
get,
lives.
of course,
Yeah.
but I'm saying for this guy in particular, all the stuff that you're doing to allow yourself to live longer, is that you're trying to play the role of God, essentially, because obviously, me being a Christian, I believe that like when my time is up, my time's up, innit? Do you understand what I mean? So me trying to extend that is me trying to play the role of God, but life doesn't work that way.
But is he trying to play the role of God? Is
I
it more
mean-
so just him maybe being more extreme at fitness and eating healthy?
Nah, because you're doing stuff with your blood and genetics, and you're taking cells from your son, and that's not.
But that's
extreme.
That's because like he kind of sees it as So obviously all of us like. Let's just say you got everyone to go to the gym, right? Everyone's watching Just Gene, everyone's motivated to go to the gym. But everyone's body works differently, innit? So he's kind of doing the stuff like the test on his body to know how he specifically works. So he can have the optimum food for him, the optimum exercise for him. So it's not necessarily, I don't think he's playing the role of God, but kind of just, and like, what's his name? Something Brian, innit?
Johnson.
Huh?
Brian Johnson.
Yeah, that sounds familiar, yeah. And he does so many different things on himself.
My sister's so rude because we're watching it. She was like, he does not look young. She was like, it's not working. I was like, you're not getting it. I'm not talking about he's like,
Well, basically,
he's on the screen.
He's slow. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. So him and his son is in the first picture.
Yeah, he's almost 50, right?
Yeah.
But he does loads of experimentation on himself. But like you said, his genes
He
basically.
looks like the guy that sang Somebody I Used to Know.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun,
It's a tune.
Dun, 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 dun.
That is a big
I think
tune.
he ages at the rate of a 10-year-old now, innit? Something like that.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
So he looks like this now, but basically when he's 80, he's not gonna look much different to this.
Where's the
Yeah.
girl that makes it icky? Just add this on there. This sounds.
He looks like an AI person.
I think because he's shirtless and he just looks like. I'll say what it looks like.
I'm not gonna lie though, hearing how he lives his life, I'm like, that can't be life.
It's
Like,
not
it's too, do you know what I mean? Like, there's no
freedom.
at all.
Well, what does he do?
Like, he was just like, he's in bed by 8 p.m. Like, he doesn't eat after a certain time. Like, they were like, what about sex? Not after 8 p.m. Like, everything's just like regimented.
Hard day for his girl.
Like,
though.
that's literally his life.
And he's married.
I don't know.
No,
No, he
no,
was married
he was.
and he was a Mormon. He was raised in the Mormon church.
Can't be trying to extend your life and be married. What kind of foolishness is that? It's gonna,
Oh my god.
And to be fair,
it's gonna
he's-
cut
do you know
into
what?
You get what I'm saying?
Do you know why I actually get it though?
Yeah.
Because he was saying that he spent I think he spent like 10 years of his life like suffering from depression. So I was like,
Yeah,
Was that when he was married?
yeah.
big up you though.
Why?
I saw your thing on 90s Baby and I hear it. I'm not getting married to you to argue about boyfriend and girlfriend stuff.
You said.
True.
No, I like.
There was a whole line you said that made me.
Oh,
crack
horse,
up.
no horse, chores. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, chores not hors.
Chores,
Yeah,
no
she was
horse.
that horse.
Yeah, I said, you know what? I hear it.
I mean, it's probably not so simple, but the gist of it
But I
is,
got but I got what you were saying though.
yeah, because I feel like if I've made that commitment to you, and then, because again, even if I haven't made the commitment to you, I think them little trivial things, I understand everybody got their own boundaries and things that make them feel insecure or whatever. But if I like a few pictures and you're instantly going to, oh, I'm cheating or whatever, I don't know I don't understand what we're doing here. You don't have no trust for me. You don't have no respect for me. You don't have no anything. If that's like your go-to move, if that's the kind of person that you actually think I am, why are you even with me for?
To be honest, the woman should know who they signed up for with you. Like
Oh,
they
but
should
I
know
mean-
what
I
they
mean-
enlisted.
But I
They'll
mean,
be
like with
enlisted for the
anyone, it's the
army.
same thing with like it's the same thing with guys who don't like their women wearing certain thing and going out to the club. And it's like, okay, what are you trying to say? She's gonna go and fuck someone in the club because she's got that on. Like, if that's how you think about your partner, I don't understand what you are doing together. Because why would you want to be with a person like that? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, and especially once you're married, I don't understand how that's your go-to move. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. I can't be having the same stupid arguments that people in 6-month relationships are having, and I'm committed to you in front of God. Like, what are we doing here? So yeah, I stand by it, man. Back in the car, guys.
What's that for you?
What, you don't agree?
No, I don't. Listen, I don't have time for stress. So I'm definitely not trying to be arguing about why you're following this person or anything like that. I do think when we're married, I expect us to have like serious life problems. Do you know what I mean? So whoever I'm with can't come to me and be like, oh,
God forbid.
why are you friends with this? No, it wouldn't happen anyway. I don't date stupid people.
No, I mean,
Do
when
you
you said serious life problems, expect us to have that.
Oh yeah, but I mean no, but problems like what house do we want to buy? Because we're so rich, and we both spot for choice. That
Good-
kind of problem.
good
I mean,
problems.
what school are the kids gonna go to? I say actually maybe they should go to this school. You're like no, they should go. These are they're not even problems to be fair. Actually, they're more decisions we have to make. I can't have you saying to me, "What's up with that male friend I have?" Don't be silly. BFFR. Yeah, I agree. Chores not whores. Or whatever the saying was. Whores not chores, whatever it is.
Ben, have you already pressed the thingy? Oh, yeah, you having it? Okay, cool. So our first headline, guys. Rishi Sunak has been warned that rolling back on climate policies could defeat the objective of protecting households from higher costs and actually make energy bills more expensive. Downing Street has confirmed ministers are scrutinising existing net zero pledges in light of some of the cost of living challenges. The Prime Minister said he's still committed to reaching the key target by 2050, but he has hinted at a watering down of proposals designed to cut carbon emissions, saying that measures must be proportionate and pragmatic instead of adding cost and hassle to households. The change in tack came after the Tories clinched an unexpected victory at the Uxbridge by-election last month after opposing the expansion of the ULEZ zone. Since then, it's been announced that 100 new oil and gas licenses will be granted in the North Sea. Energy efficiency targets for landlords will be pushed back, and a flagship recycling scheme will be delayed, causing anger amongst environment groups, scientists, and cross-party MPs. And the next headline is linked to our topic of the day. And coup leaders in Niger say that they're open to diplomacy to resolve a standoff with West Africa's regional bloc, according to a group of senior Nigerian Islamic scholars who have met the military leaders in the capital, Niamey. The visit comes as the ECOWAS, which is the Economic Community of West African States, explores its options to restore civilian rule to Niger, including potential military intervention following the removal of President Mohamed Bazoum last month, which was the 7th coup in West and Central Africa in 3 years. In a sign that the West African bloc is still pushing for a peaceful resolution, the ECOWAS chairman, who is also the Nigerian president, Bola Tinubu, approved Saturday's mission to Niamey by the delegation of Islamic scholars who had vowed to promote dialogue. The group's meeting with the military government leader, General Tichani, lasted several hours, and this was basically relayed back to them by the Sheikh Abdullahi Bala Lau, who led the delegation. He also said in a statement on Sunday that he said that their doors were open to explore diplomacy and peace in resolving the matter. Tichani reportedly emphasized the historic ties between Niger and Nigeria, saying that the countries were not only neighbors but brothers and sisters who should resolve issues amicably. And that's it for the headlines.
Lovely. Let's get into what you say on topic of the day.
All right, so like I said a moment ago, today's topic of the day is going to be about the coup in Niger. I'm kind of struggling on basically the angle to approach this, right? Because there's so many different places you can start from, depending on how far in history you want to go, this and the third. But I'm just pretty much going to start with what happened in Niger and kind of work backwards and forwards from there. So we also spoke about this when we were given the headlines over the past 2 or 3 weeks now. But basically, on the 26th of July, there was a coup in the capital of Niger, Niamey, right? Where the same person I was just speaking about in the previous headline, Tichani, who was one of the top senior presidential members of the presidential guard, protecting the French president Bazoum, basically seized power, right? He then announced that he was going to be the head of the transitional government, and that the motivation behind this particular move was to avoid the gradual demise of the country and also to get rid of the colonial influence in Niger. Because he did that, though, ECOWAS, which I said before is the Economic Communities of West African States, right, which is like 14 countries in West Africa, they've come together and said, listen, you guys need to free this president ASAP, right, and reinstall him as a president, right, or we're going to, place sanctions on your country. They basically said, we're not doing that, right? And they said, okay, cool. If you don't do this, we will, again, threaten military action against Niger. When they did that, Burkina Faso and Mali governments said, guys, ECOWAS guys over there, if you lot do this and actually make a move military-wise on Niger, we will see that as a declaration of war on us, and we will also step in for Niger and defend them. So obviously everybody's thinking this has to be the last resort, and this is what ECOWAS is saying. This is the last resort, right? They have actually declared right now, well, when they've placed the sanctions, a no-fly zone. Basically, all commercial flights from within West African countries can't go to Niger back and forth, right? All of that's like not allowed right now. And that's basically where we are right now, right? The last headline, like I just said, was basically a delegation Islamic delegation from Nigeria went to Niger to speak to the incumbent president, the military guy, Tichani, right? To talk about how we can resolve the issue. Because the reality is, ECOWAS, the biggest biggest country, the country with the biggest military in ECOWAS is Nigeria. Bola Tinubu, he can't decide to just go to war unless he gets permission from the Nigerian Assembly, right? Yeah. And they've said no, we're not.
They shut it down.
They've shut it down, right? And so this is the next step, basically. Let's try and talk this out, which makes sense, right? But they did threaten that by the 6th of August, I think it was the 6th of August anyway, that basically if you don't return Bazoum to power, this is what's going to happen. Obviously, the 6th of August has gone since last week, and they're still talking. That's basically the situation right now. Like I said before, Burkina Faso and Mali, they stepped in to say, guys, we're not going to allow this type of thing, right? And all of this, the reason why this whole particular thing is tricky is because this all is kind of influenced by, depending on the person you're talking to, what you're reading, it's influenced by the French government, it's influenced by the US government.
Oh, they banned Air France from flying over there as well.
Exactly, right? And also, some people believe this will be also a way for Russia to get in, and also China potentially, right? So this makes this a potential
World issue.
Proxy war,
right? 100%. You know what I'm saying? That's basically where I kind of want to start from right there, right? On the surface, based on that information, what are your first thoughts? Anyone can talk. Brent, you can talk as well. Christy?
My first thoughts is fuck France.
Yeah.
I think this is long overdue, considering the stronghold France has had over those colonial African countries that they've, like, I don't even want to know what's worse. I don't know who's worse, Britain or France, but I kind of feel like France takes the actual mick, to be honest, in terms of the resources that they pillage from all these African countries, as well as Haiti, as well.
That's true.
And just to hold them up. So I kind of think it's long overdue, to be honest. Like, I'm glad.
Okay. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, guys. You all right?
Yes. Is this Brother Tariq?
Yeah, what you saying, bro? You good, yeah?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Hope everyone's having a blessed start to their week. I thought I'd just quickly call in because I got to shoot, yeah. But, the topic of the day is a bit sad, to be honest, because, it's another African country that is dealing with a coup, yeah. But still good that we can actually discuss this and, scrutinize the big players.
Yeah.
I hate to be bashing Africa down because many of the African democracies at the minute, they have a mismatch between what the citizens expect in terms of the economy. So job creation and poverty, and also what is happening whenever they elect a new government. So I reckon, obviously, this part of Africa is really volatile as it is anyways, and has been for a number of years. But I don't think this coup is a surprise to anyone. Like I said, the part of Africa has been in turmoil, and the military takeover that's happening now, and has also happened in Burkina Faso. I think you mentioned it, and Mali as well. But I personally think the reason why we are hearing a lot more about the Niger coup is there's media attention on it, because Niger has been one of the biggest democratic partners of the Western nations.
Yep.
And you mentioned as well, like as in like France and America. France obviously are there to kind of like still keep hold of the colonial past, and like they still have a lot of power, which I do not understand how so many of these African countries cannot get out of, in terms of like them using the francs as a currency. There's also obviously America still players there because there's like a jihadist in that region. So I don't know, man. Like, I reckon that the coup is probably this will be a coup that will probably stick, because I think this guy he means business. I think they attempted it already as well, like in May. I think it was May 2021, and one of the guys that, and this is where Nigeria comes in as well. Like, and I have to put a bit of blame on Nigeria here. But one of the main guys, he used to be in the Nigerian military. So there's still that influence that's like lingering around, man. So I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough like few months if this goes forward, because we all know what Boko Haram are doing in that area. So if this country is like unstable, then that's going to like play into their hands. So obviously we're pretty much going to go into more detail with why Niger is so important, right, to the West. But bearing in mind, because just for context as well, right, Niger is I think definitely top 10. I think like 6th or 7th biggest production reserves of uranium in the world, right?
That's what they want.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you. You see the where the Niger stopped the pipeline going through,
Yeah.
Was that the president that was elected that done that, or is that the new ones that's done that?
I think that's the new ones.
The new ones.
That's the new ones, yeah.
It's the military that did that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So Niger, right? Apparently, their uranium basically is used to power 2/3 of French homes. 2/3. So bearing that in mind, right? Seeing how important Niger is, Tariq, are you sure you feel like this coup will actually stick and remain? Because surely France is going to put pressure on ECOWAS.
And they already are. They already are doing it. But
exactly.
you know the reason why we do not hear about France's influence in Africa as much as like we hear about Russia or China, because we all hear like, the Chinese have taken over Africa, But France, they use this part of Africa as like a proxy war.
Yeah.
So if they need, like you're right, like they are gonna need to, they can't let this coup go ahead, but they have no they have an influence here, but they don't want to voice it. So I think what they are trying to do is align with America, so kind of like rock the boat for America, because it's got like America's got like its fingers like in a lot of pies around that area, and then America has like a good ties with Nigeria, and this is why I think the Nigerian president he's the only one he's the only one that's actually being loud, if you think about it. That's because true. In the West African the economic community, that part, like there's so many other countries in it, but Nigeria's president is the only one that's voicing it, and he's the only one that's like trying to test the waters in terms of like saying he will need to get authorization from the parliament in order to go to war, etc. Like, I don't think Nigeria alone would be going to war against Niger when they are like in the same region, because Nigeria and Niger, like, they have the same economical issues, a sense of it, because they are reliant on like one or two sources of income, and also they are having issues with Boko Haram and like Al Qaeda around the west side, around the Sahel area. So I don't know, man. I think France will definitely wanna. They're not gonna let this like happen, because what will happen is if Niger kind of like succeeds with this, then Burkina Faso will follow, Mali will follow. And that will pretty much be France's like last bit of the pie they eat from Africa, in terms of like their economy be boosted, because France, they are like the fourth or fifth largest economy, and most of that is boosted by the income they get from the interest rates for these African countries that use the franc as their currency, because you can't, like, every decision that African countries make to get like loans or any type of deals to invest into the country, France has to co-sign it, because it's exactly. So I don't think they're gonna let this happen. But we'll see anyways. And we've already started seeing it. Like America's like, because America, they out there like at the minute, like they're using the whole anti-terrorism narrative.
Who, America?
So it'll be interesting to see like how America gets involved, because they've got troops over there, but just as advisors. I think like, Burkina Faso, I think last week, like they were leaving, some of the last ones. So I don't know, man. The people that are going to be affected the most is going to be like those African, the population really. Yeah. Because they have no power at all here.
Yeah, it's a shame. All right, well, thank you very much for calling in, Tariq, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Just one last thing, bro. But you know, I think I was talking to you about it yesterday. The other part of the geopolitics that's going on here when it comes to Russia and China. I reckon Russia is going to use this to have like another like proxy war started with America, if America are going to be like the mouthpiece for France. Yeah. Because Russia has a lot of influence in that side of Africa, and they've been training like the army, etc. Like, and they have like the private contractors that are out there, and then China will now, if the coup goes ahead, China like are going to benefit a lot from it, because they have contacts with the military as well. So China are in the best position if you think about it, because whether if the coup goes ahead, they're gonna get a boost. If the coup doesn't go ahead, like they're winning already anyways, because they've invested in a lot of like infrastructure. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see anyways. But bro, thanks for having me. I'll chat to you guys there.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, man.
God bless.
The second caller picked up. Right?
Someone online?
They hung up. All right. Before the caller calls back again, okay. Good morning, caller.
It's Nana.
Yes, Nana. How are you?
Hello.
You've been waiting, boy.
How are you, Nana? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing very, very well. I want to chip into this issue because this issue is very worrisome.
Yes.
And you know, the part in, ECOWAS was formed in 1975. Yeah. Purposely for economic trade. But traveling from Ghana to Togo, when you get to Aflao, there's something called laissez-passer. It means give me money before you can travel or cross over. See, whenever the ECOWAS people, the leaders, they meet, they can't deliberate on this issue. They cannot deliberate on this issue. And in West Africa, we have something called constitutional coup, which means the leaders, they try to change the constitution to favor them to go for their third term. Look at Cote d'Ivoire. Alassane Ouattara wants to go for his third term. In 2010, there was a president called Laurent Gbagbo. Gbagbo went on his first term, second term, and Ouattara came. And when Gbagbo was there, Gbagbo was trying to change the law for him to go for the third term. And now Ouattara came, and he also is going for his third term, and he has won his election. And the West African leaders, they all went to his swearing in. They all went to his swearing in. And we have one guy also in Cameroon called Paul Biya. Paul Biya has been in power since 1982, 41 years now. He's still in power. So the issue is the constitutional coup. That's what they need to talk about. See, this thing of war. See, the West African people, we are angry. We are angry. See, people cannot even afford 3 square meal of food. Yeah. And you know one thing, West Africa is the poorest part in Africa. When you go to the northern part, they are okay. The southern part, they are okay. Just West Africa, bad roads. Absolutely nothing is working. Absolutely nothing is working. And our leaders are aged, and they still want to milk us. Still be in power. That's very worrisome. See, I went to Tinubu's inauguration because of Shane is my friend. But now, what Tinubu is doing, I'm so disappointed. I spoke to Shane, his son, and told him I'm so disappointed in his dad because of what is going on now. I mean, how can you fight your neighbors? How can you fight your neighbors?
So, but Nana, right? Obviously, like a coup in West Africa or any African state isn't really the ideal situation, right?
Yeah.
So, how would you suggest that ECOWAS go about sorting out the situation?
See, it's all about negotiation. It's all about talk. France is basically just their interest. Yeah. Russian is basically just their interest. Right now, do you know in Burkina, Yamoussoukro, the Wagner group, they are there mining gold.
Yep.
They are just there mining gold. They are not there for us. They are basically just there for their interest.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's about time the West African leaders need to sit down and talk to themselves and stop following the puppet masters.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, go on, Nana.
See, you know, Niger supply onion across West African countries. Onion. But right now, they have closed down the borders. Getting onion in West Africa now is very difficult. And the price has skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Has skyrocketed. And the truth of the matter is that our leaders, they don't care. They don't care. The only thing they care about is to have an offshore account in Georgetown.
In Switzerland.
That's the only thing they care about.
Yeah,
it's very sad to come from West Africa. It's very sad. Very, very sad.
So, I mean, what would you say to somebody that says, you know what, Burkina Faso, Mali, they need help from one of these, the Western world, right? And it's probably better if they have it from Russia than the US and the French. What would you say to somebody who has that view?
Because, you know, one thing about the Chinese and the Russians, they are not there for us. They are just there for their interests.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, me, when I was in Ghana, I was into gold mining. Whenever you do business with the Chinese, they respect you. They respect you. They listen to you. When it's 50-50, they take their part, you take your part. But whenever you do a business with an American, your part, he still want to get some of your part.
Yeah.
That's how they are. Whenever you do a business with the Chinese in Africa, they respect you. They respect your views. But with Americans and the British, they don't respect us.
Yeah.
They just want to take. You know, Ghana is the leading supplier of gold. But go and check the root of Ghana now. The roots in Ghana now.
Yeah.
Deplorable. Very, very deplorable. But we are the leading supplier of gold in the world.
Yeah.
It's all about greed in West Africa.
So do you feel like Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger should kind of welcome in the Wagner group, or do you feel like they should try and do everything themselves?
Basically, one thing that I was telling you is that whenever you deal with the Russians and the Chinese, they respect you.
Okay.
When you sit on the table with them, they respect your views. When the negotiation, they respect the negotiation. But with these French people, they don't respect the negotiation. They don't.
That's true.
So the people feel hurt. So the people feel hurt naturally. They feel hurt.
Yeah.
So me personally, I think the coup, or I think the war will never come on because there's no country who's going to fund the war.
Okay.
Nigeria is even backing with money. Ghana, there's no money there. So the war is just talk. It's just talk. Nothing will come on. The only people that is ready to back the war is the French people, bringing their money in the West because of their interests.
Yeah.
Won't Russia back them?
But let me tell you, truth be told, our leaders have failed us. West African leaders have failed.
100%.
It's all about greed.
Yeah.
It's all about greed.
So, okay, do you feel like you said, the French may actually do something, right? And remember, America's still got their bases in Niger. They spend 100 million on that military base and spend like 30 million every year just to maintain it. So, like, they're not just gonna turn around and go back home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely, absolutely.
What do you think is gonna happen next?
So, what is going to happen next is, have you seen right now the Nigerians have basically want the Wagner group to take over.
Yeah.
And once the Wagner group take over, they will fight for them.
Okay.
Because they have the weapons and the accoutrement to fight.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So they will fight for them. But this war is not going to happen. It's just about talk. And right now, I could hear they want to sit on the table and talk about it. But truth be told, the Nigeria. See, you know, when you go to a part in Nigeria, it's called Sokoto, the northern part of Nigeria. Yeah. It basically shares border with Niger. I've been there before. Bonu, when you go to Bonu, that's where Boko Haram is. Yeah. It basically shares border with Niger. So why go to fight two brothers? It will never happen. It's just about talk. If it only happens, then that means the French are sponsoring.
Yeah. Which I think they're likely.
I think they're ready to do that.
They're ready to do it. They've done it before. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Remember there was reports that it was put out by the Nigerian newspaper or Nigerian government or whatever. But there were reports that the French actually were actually sponsoring Boko Haram. They were behind
absolutely
some Boko Haram's exploits in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? So again, they can definitely do it. They can definitely do it. Yeah, and like you said, Tinubu wants to do something.
Yeah, because you know why? Tinubu has a mouth word in France. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Tinubu has a mouth word in France. I'm not scared to say it. He has a mouth word in France, and Macron is being controlled, and Macron is controlling him.
Yeah.
Like a puppet, mate.
Yeah.
Most of Tinubu's property in Europe is in France. Yeah. That's the truth. And he also does not want to lose it with sanctions.
Yeah, that's true.
So he will do their bidding for them. He will do their bidding for them. But hopefully, let's see whether they can do anything. Because see, if they do something, it's going to affect West Africa. In the next 10 years, it's going to affect West Africa. With regards to development and trade. You know, in West Africa, any major road is being funded by the Chinese.
Yeah.
Every major road is being funded by the Chinese. Why the French? Why the Americans? See, they just come and bring us book. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. It's true.
So so in West Africa, it's very worrisome. It's very, very worrisome.
Now, how serious do you think the threat of like Islamic terrorists are in the region, though? Do you feel like that's something that the media has kind of made bigger than it is, or do you feel like something that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why the media is not talking about it? Because the media is being controlled by the puppet masters. Go to West Africa. Almost 90% of the media stations is owned by politicians.
Yep.
Cameroon the same, Burkina the same, Ghana the same, Nigeria the same, West Africa.
Yeah.
90% of the media is owned by the politicians. Yep. So they basically do what their party wants.
Wow. It's a shame, man.
Yeah. So let's just hope this thing does not lead to this direction.
100%. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Nana, for calling.
Thank you, big man.
Yeah, because even
thank you, and have a good day.
And you too.
And you too, hon.
Bye.
The TV stations in Niger, like there's like all these French like they've locked them off.
Yeah.
They've locked them off. They said no, you can't. They've stopped them. They said no French, nothing. They've locked them off, so there's no information coming in, like to obviously muddy the waters and stuff like that. So they're completely cut off. And also the fact that Nigeria's even cut off electricity to them, I was thinking,
yes,
sometimes
that's
our own Nigerian people don't have electricity. How are you cutting off theirs?
Exactly.
That is so cheeky.
So cheeky.
Can you imagine?
Ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely.
Because they get the electricity lines come from Nigeria, but I'm thinking your own people are even suffering. and you have the cheek to be cutting off theirs.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. So like, what's you guys' views then? Do you feel like this is Africa waking up finally, or do you feel like this is something that we could get ourselves caught up in a bad situation, just going from one colonial master to a new one?
That's what I'm afraid of, to be honest. I think it's very multi-layered. I'm in an ideal situation. I would want us to wake up, and I don't want it to be a thing where the French colonies are now against,
exactly.
like Nigeria, Ghana, all that kind of stuff like that. Because it's like Ghana is following suit with Nigeria in whatever they're saying, and others are following. I don't want it to be you like. Why we're getting used against each other, and then in all the outcome, it just benefits
The West.
everybody else, whether it be Russia, China, France, America, kind of thing. So I don't want it to be that kind of thing. But I don't know that we even have. I don't know that we have. With the way the corrupt leaders are, I don't know how this is gonna fall. To be honest,
They should
I don't
overthrow all of them.
I was gonna say,
Ain't this destabilization like an opportunity for like Africa to get away from the West if they actually just showed some unity for their own things and cut
but
them
I
off?
don't
The issue
think
is
Africa can be unified though. That's the problem. Because do you know what I mean? I feel like
with all the
And
stuff
you
with
know
the
what it is, I feel
IMF
like
though
as
as
well,
well,
though,
it's techie. There's so many deals, back deals.
I feel like as well, what's it called? The corruption runs deep. Like, unpopular opinion, sometimes I think that we should have been colonized a bit longer. I'll be honest.
wow.
No, I'll be honest. Because I feel like the corruption... No. Facts.
Go on.
Because I feel like certain countries, if, like the West or whatever, if they still had control and they were, were one of their colonies or whatever, I feel like there's certain standards that would have been met. Like, whenever I go to Nigeria, it's sad. Like, when you see the amount of, like, basic things that people do not have, I feel like if they were still colonized, those basic things people will have. Unfortunately, the corruption runs deep that whenever there's, like, uprisings and stuff, I do wish it would be a thing where, the people won't back down and blah, blah. But then there's no, like, the way... Okay, the reason why the leaders move the way they move is because they don't respect the people. And unfortunately, when there's now resistance by the people, they show them how much they really do not care and have any regard for their lives and stuff. And that's always the sad thing, where the longer it goes, they start to find a way to kind of just literally get rid of people. Like, they literally just get rid of them, kill them and stuff like that. So that's the sad thing. I don't know. It's a tricky situation. What I think, though, people need to get killed. I think here, and I'm not saying people as in the citizens, I think there needs to be like a wipe. You see how the French and how they got rid of like the monarchy and stuff? I feel like that's what we need, the African version of all the corrupt leaders, because it runs deep. That corruption runs way too deep to the point where sometimes as well, the people are not even united. Do you get what I mean? Because of what it is that if you help the leaders not get their power taken, they can give you this thing. But when you've got nothing, the little you're getting from them is something. I don't know, man.
Can they do it themselves though? Wouldn't it just like transfer power to other countries? Like all them coups and stuff, they're gonna be backed by like either it be secretly like by like Russia and China or something like that. So it'll just go from America and France or whatever.
This is the thing.
That's the thing.
Just to another
Trading
side.
one for another.
Yeah. China cannot have control of any of those countries. Already, I mean, they kind of do. They're really setting up their place there. But I don't know, man.
So do you feel like it'd be worse to have China and Russia though?
I don't know, man. They're all the same people, man. They're all the same people that don't have that much regard for us.
Ain't Russia
It's
trying
like it's a lesser evil. Like, really, who is?
wouldn't Russia like do like better business though? Like give them more money, because obviously they're just obviously it serves their own purpose anyway, because they just want to antagonize and destabilize whatever their man got. But wouldn't they be in better situations with them?
I feel like it will be a case of the lesser evil. So no one's really gonna be. No one's a great option, but certain points will make this person. Like there's more benefits that we can get here from if the other person, and I feel like with Russia, if it was Russia and China, that would be the case.
Yeah, see, but I don't trust China, not a damn lick.
I don't trust China
I
at all.
don't trust them a damn lick, like
At all.
even though Nana said that when they come to the table, they come respectfully. I feel like that's all BS personally. Like, yeah, they may come respectfully, but behind your back, what they doing?
I think they look a bigger picture.
Yeah,
And I think China's stronghold is a bit more. The way they've done it is much more insidious, right? But the stronghold, I feel like, will be longer lasting.
Yeah.
Because it's done by legal channels.
Yeah. And they give them money they can't afford to pay back. And they will never be able to pay back.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Hi, it's Von. How are you?
Yes, Von. What are you saying? You right?
Yeah, all good, all good. Just a great call by Nana and Tariq, by the way. I don't have that much to add. I just wanted to add a bit more context to what's happening in Niger. And I think it's just been missed a little in the reporting in the West, as you'd expect. So Anthony Blinken visited them in March. That's the first time the US Secretary of State visited them. And that is purely out of concern by the Russian influence or perceived Russian influence in that part of the world. Now, you just need to step back and look at where Niger is strategically. It's to the west of it is Mali. To the east of it is Chad. Nigeria is to the south. Burkina Faso is to southwest. It's strategically one of the most important places to have your bases, and that's where the Americans and the French have. Now, it's been relatively stable for a long time, and that's because the president, Bazoum, who was ironically the first one to be elected in, was compliant and allowed them to have those bases, so to speak. Now, the other thing to think about is Niger has never, ever, outside of the Bazoum election, had a peaceful transfer of power. It has been coup after coup. So this is not actually different to anything that they've been used to, sad to say. And it's not always bloody. Sometimes it's bloodless, but a coup nonetheless. The other thing to think about is Burkina Faso and Mali have both had coups in the last 3 years. So obviously that has fueled the sentiment within Niger. Ironically, the person who overthrew the president at the moment was a supporter when he was about to be overthrown. But now he's taking matters into his own hands and took him out. This Chiani, I believe his name.
Yeah.
There's an excellent journalist actually out of Nigeria, Abuja. His name is Ahmed Idris, who writes about this stuff extensively. Really, really good, worth looking into. But the perceived issue there they've got is that look at what's happening in the Central African Republic and Congo. They're looking at what is happening there in terms of the relationships that they're getting out of the Chinese in comparison to what they're getting out of the West. Getting the Wagner Group in is exactly like Nana said, is purely about them having the accoutrement, as he put it, to enable the military defense if it needs be, if the French decide to mobilize. But the French aren't going to mobilize because they didn't mobilize in Mali. They were thrown out very quickly. So I think what's happening at the moment is a lot of posturing. Invariably, there will be a normalization of ties. There will be some sort of, I suppose, calming of the tensions. However, the important thing to remember is that this isn't new to the Nigerians. This isn't new to anybody in that region. It's just, this is the latest. And the only reason that is now perceived to be more threatening in the media coverage now that we're getting in the West is purely because it's not the Americans, the French. They're receiving end of something that they think that the Russians or the Chinese are fueling. When in reality, it's actually exactly like Nana said, the political class in all of these African countries that keep failing their electorate or the people who back their position in power, and then they have to react militarily because invariably that's all they really have. Now, Giannis did say something quite pertinent. He said there is the gradual disappearance of Niger as a result of these Western interests and mismanagement of the economy. So he does seem to have a bit of knowledge in terms of how he can turn it around, or at least they can turn it around with relations with the Russians and the Chinese. Now, I don't know how true that is. He's still, he's still a coup. There's someone who can overthrow him just like he overthrew this guy. So it's about, well, what is it in the short term that they can achieve to try and change the narrative? Because otherwise you're going to end in this perpetual cycle of coup after coup. And the only beneficiaries are the people who with bases on the ground, and that's the West at the moment. So I just wanted to add that bit of context.
Thank you very much, Von. But before you go, I want to ask you a
Not at all.
question here. In terms of, you said you don't think French will do anything. It's more so posturing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But bearing in mind that the reserves in Niger fuel and power like 2/3, some even say 3/4, right, of French homes, right? Would they really just be just chilling there, or do you think they're gonna do something tangible?
It will ultimately be some sort of resolution, some sort of agreement, because they can't afford to alienate the entire country through military use, and that's what will happen. And that's when you're inviting too much conflict. And in order to fuel that conflict, you need more exploitation elsewhere. And frankly, they've already lost a foothold in Mali. They can't afford that route. You know, it's not exactly that the Western economy is doing very well at the moment to try and handle it. Now, ironically, a war can fuel an economic growth because that's what we have seen time and again since the turn of the century. However, the easiest route for them is to try and negotiate some sort of settlement. I would expect something to be agreed. At the moment, the general just took a hardline approach by cutting all of these things. Oh, and the other thing, obviously, that we haven't talked about is the tribalism within all these countries. You know, Niger is a 99% Muslim country with a huge Arab contingent who own businesses, and they're obviously can potentially be targeted, but that's just another dimension that is not being mentioned at all.
Yeah. What do you see for like the future being for the CFA franc?
They probably deserve coups themselves so that they can start looking after their countries instead of their paymasters. But you know, we have. I don't.
Do you feel like the currency, like this is the beginning and the end for that particular currency? Because for as long, like the way I see it is, for as long as the currency remains intact and being used amongst these francophone countries, right? Surely the influence of France is always going to be there. Because they need to go to France to actually get this particular currency, right? So, but do you feel like this is the end of that? Is this the beginning of the end of that?
I don't think so. I don't think so, unfortunately, because it's not concerted effort from all the francophone countries. The last time somebody tried to introduce a Pan-African currency was just the north of Niger, again, thinking of areas, and that's in Libya, unless you see what happened there.
Yep.
So I don't think it's going to be that straightforward, unfortunately.
Okay, I hear you.
So yeah, I mean, it's a glimmer of hope, and it's about what the best solution is for those African people in that struggle. Unfortunately, it will settle down again, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Beta.
Thanks a lot, man. All right. Brent, what's your views on all of this?
Yeah, I think what Vaughn just touched on was what it is. I was wary of when I was doing some research. The positioning of, is it Niger? Yeah. Has all of the West parties like scrambling for that position, and obviously America has that base, and apparently because of what they did, America's had to stop giving them money, and I think they said 40% of their income comes from America, America's aid. So that's having a massive effect, right?
Yeah.
So I found it interesting that like no channel over here is covering this bollocks, right? Like no channel's covering it, and it could kick off over there.
Yeah.
What I also found interesting was the picture of all of those African nations in the ECOWAS, like standing up for a picture.
Yeah, imagine.
saying, do this or says that we're gonna flex.
Tap dancing for the massa.
Yeah, and the crux of it is just the white man just giggling and
in the background. That's what it always is, though.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they didn't cave, though, you know, because obviously they were meant to put Bazoum back in power by the 6th of August. Yeah. I'm so glad that niggas still chilling somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
But it's your people who suggested that they should cave, no?
Yeah, because Tinubu, we spoke about.
How are you feeling, seeing as it's Nigeria, your people as?
But remember, this is why I identify as Yoruba, not Nigeria, because Nigeria is a failed country. It's a useless country.
Yeah, but Tinubu's Yoruba.
He is.
So where do we go from here?
But he cares more about Nigeria than Yoruba. He does. You know what I'm saying?
I'm more Nigerians.
He cares about Nigeria. Really?
Yeah. In terms of like so that he can, fill his
Benefit
pockets
from it.
and benefit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
He cares more about Lagos, really.
That's
but
fine.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh.
He cares more about Lagos. He's the king of Lagos. He's
Yeah,
owned
yeah. But he's
Lagos when he was a governor. How many years ago?
But he's already kind of clocked that level now, innit? He wants to now
Level up.
You know what I'm saying? Take over Nigeria. I wouldn't be surprised if, for example, if he wins a second term, he won't even try and go for a third somehow. He's capable. It's kind of like what Nana was saying.
That man cannot win a second term. That man is
surprised.
knocking on death's door. He can't
So
win
was
a second
Buhari.
term.
Buhari was knocking on death's door.
Yeah, but Buhari still looked active. Tinubu is sleeping in meetings.
Yeah, that's true.
Tinubu is sleeping everywhere. He's literally snooze festing. He cannot stay awake.
He's old though.
Yeah, the guy
He's an
naps.
old
He's a
man.
very old man.
Yeah, he's old man.
Like whenever they
proper
check
old.
Coming like Joe
pictures,
Biden,
he's
basically.
sleeping, Brent.
Yeah.
As in not stylishly sleeping, like I'm knocked out on world stages.
Isn't he in his 80s? He's
Yes.
No, he's
proper
not.
old.
I think he's actually younger than Buhari, you know. But I think he's got a condition.
Oh, that's
so
what
he looks a lot older.
His condition is theft. That's why I'm your
Is
thief.
it?
I think so.
The condition is
I'll
theft.
need to double check, but I think he
Not
is.
the condition. He's a drug pushing thief. Imagine the president of a whole country being a drug dealer. Do you know how mad that is?
Allegedly.
It's alleged as I'm black. Nothing alleged about that shit.
It's a damn shame though, man. But I don't know, man. To me, I want to remain positive and I feel like this is the beginning of something. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, Mali did this first, right? And they were alone. Burkina Faso then did something. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Niger is doing something. Maybe this
Might be
may
a
have
spark.
a. It may be. You know what I'm saying? Especially as these guys are not backing down.
And they've got Mali and thingy's supporting there. So
Yes, they said
So the
you
people that
guys
did it-
touch them.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
but
war.
but I don't want it to become like a war between us as Africans. That's what I don't want.
Yeah, but sometimes
all because
yeah,
France and the US and all's got their
Yeah.
hand up.
Is it
Tinubu's
really?
arse.
Is it really France, US, and China though, and Russia though? Because if there's a war, I'm sure the people will go straight for the culprits, that sleepy man and stuff. No,
Yep.
because I'm in my head. These common people, the actual people, know who the problem is. The greed of the people in charge, right?
Yeah.
So if lives are being taken, meals are being removed from tables and whatnot, aren't they going for them first? Because
Potentially,
they've facilitated all this?
Yeah, but you would think so. But then
Yeah.
the state of Nigeria is still the state of Nigeria. They know what's going on.
But
People
this
on the
might
ground
be,
know
this might
what's
be
going
the,
on.
the spark, right?
It could be. Because you know when NSAS was happening, for example, all the politicians were trying to fly out because they knew that, it's actually in for us.
It's peak.
It's
Yeah,
peak for us. And they were literally sending their kids out because they were like, boy, we might get it.
Once
So
you
it
start
could be.
having unrest, you're giving people opportunity to come out their houses and go and look for you, innit? Like a purge.
And that's it. And I feel like with Africans are so tired, man. They're so sick of the shit. So I feel like it could be good.
I heard
Real
the
good.
stress in Nana's voice. He was
Yeah.
ready.
yeah.
He was ready.
He's gonna be ready
Man
too,
said he
right?
spoke to his,
For sure.
to his son.
For sure.
Take some time off for the go.
Recruit a new producer while he's off to war.
But yeah, man, it's a terrible state of affairs, man. Obviously, we all know how influential Africa is in terms of like resources, how mineral rich they are, right? Apparently, Africa has 30% of mineral reserves in the world. 30%, almost a third. They have 65% total arable land. So all the agriculture, all them type of things there, Africa. 8% natural gas, gold, diamonds, uranium, all them things that people kind of use, as we know, Google, Tesla, all them people using their electronics and their tech all over the world, all comes from Africa, right? Obviously, this is the reason why we know China's there pretty much. But the thing about China doesn't have a military base in Africa. I think they may have only one in Djibouti, something like that. I think they have only one. But everybody else, America, France, you know what I'm saying? They're there in terms of like troops and things of that nature. And yeah, man, this is why I feel like China, like I think Tariq was pretty much saying, China's in a good position because you can't really say they're bad yet.
This is it.
Because they're just chilling, they're just waiting. And they're doing things by the book. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're playing the long game.
This is it. You know what I mean? So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. What else was I going to say? In terms of like, what can Africans do, right, to kind of build and develop the economy of the individual states, the individual countries? Because everyone's kind of talking about the difficulty to get visas, right? And that's something that we spoke about, well, Africans spoke about many a time, right? Why is it that in Europe, you don't, well, prior to the whole...
Prior to the EU.
Prior to Brexit. But like, we could just go freely. And it just facilitates trade and things of that nature.
Isn't that what ECOWAS kind of does, though?
Yes, but not in the whole of Africa.
No, I know. It's only in the West.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we heard Savage here, like he traveled from Nigeria all the way to South Africa. So there's loads of people
had to get a visa.
You know what I'm saying? So things like that, right, where countries, you know, what happened?
From Nigeria, had to get a visa for South Africa.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. The only reason I'm confused is because when I was leaving SA to go to Ghana, I flew on my Ghana passport, and they didn't ask me any questions. Like I didn't need. Do you know what I mean? I literally showed my Ghana passport.
Okay.
And it was fine.
Maybe incompetent.
So that's why I'm just. Maybe they were incompetent. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I literally flew, and my passport was expired.
Because I'm pretty sure, like, you need visas
definitely
to
incompetence.
go through. Yeah, definitely incompetence.
Well, it was close. I had less than 6 months, basically, and it wasn't an issue.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, they definitely, like, you need visas and all these type of things there, right? When you can, if we open up the borders to some degree, obviously it should be, some regulation should be there, right? But it's too much right now where it's like, it costs an arm and a leg, takes too much time of your day just to try and get a visa, right? Which
I think
makes everything a lot difficult.
We need to forge, obviously, relationships between ourselves.
I was going to say that.
And also we need to forge relationships with the Caribbean. I'm sorry, once that line gets met and those dots connect.
Do you know what I think the problem is? I think because we're so divided amongst ourselves and they know we're divided amongst ourselves, right? They know how to play the game and how to play us against each other. Do you know what I mean? The unity is not there.
Yeah.
So that's why they're able to kind of get away with all this stuff. And greed is the main thing. Obviously, if you throw like food to greedy people, they're not going to think about everybody else.
No.
That's not how we operate, unfortunately. So that's why I believe what Esther's saying in a sense where secretly you kind of have to get rid of, there has to be a purge of like the people,
100%.
those people, because it's only the younger generation or the new generation who are going to like push forward that narrative of unity.
You see, this is the thing, right? I've always said, secretly, deep down, I've kind of wished for a coup in Nigeria to get rid of, like you just said, all those corrupt politicians and totally have a purge of that particular government and system and the mindset of these people so that, you know, hopefully the newer people can, you know, can start again.
Yeah,
but it requires...
They don't want to release power.
This is it. It requires a proper benevolent military that will hand it over and say, guys, back to civilian rule and let's do things properly. But the reality is, that's just, it's an ideal world. It's just not possible. I remember speaking to one guy before, a Nigerian guy, Igbo guy, and he went back to Nigeria one time. He was telling me about his experience talking to his cousins and stuff. And he was like, yo, we should all come together, you know, take over not take over the government as such, but change the corruption. His cousin said, my friend, don't come here and
You've
start
been here for
that
5
stuff.
seconds.
Yeah. but they also said to him, they've had their time to enjoy it, to chop. We need our time too. So don't come and act like...
But this is
thinking about
this is the mentality.
I said it runs deep.
This is what I'm saying.
This
to
is
you.
the mentality. And you know how we say about nepotism? Nepotism actually works wrongly over there.
Yeah,
It's meant to benefit, but it works.
Corruption.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I too need to, as you
This is
said,
it.
my turn to chop.
Yeah. So, you know...
And what's annoying to me is I feel like the greed is so much, is like, that's what is annoying to me is like the PR, in terms of the PR, it's not like there's not greed and corruption in this country. Let's be clear. Because COVID showed you that.
Yep.
That it was that. But I feel like at least there are things that are functional to make you seem like people are not gonna be majorly aware of what the corruption is going on, because I got electricity, I got running water, I've got all
The
these
basic
things.
necessi- the basic necessities are being met.
The roads are being met. So the country's not going to be really aware of really what's going on back with all these stuff that's going on. But with Africa now, you can't even do that. Like I can understand if you want to. Again, I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying if you want to have that mentality of when you want to chop something at the back end, sort out your people first. I don't understand this mentality of you just want to chop, but then your country is in degradation. I don't understand that.
Now, how do you look? Because I'm not a greedy person in it. Again, I'm not in that place of power in it. So people always say money changes you in it. So who's to say that I won't get rich one day and become a greedy person? God forbid. But I don't think that's my character. But it's like what you said. How can you be so rich here and then just see the state of like what's going on and the fact that you're in control and in power and you have all the power in the world to make a difference and you just choose to just sleep on your money? It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Do you not fear God?
Literally, when I tell you, it's what I said about they have no regards for life. Like the other day, what was that? I think when I was away or something like that, there's a doctor in Nigeria, Dr. Diaso, I believe her name was. Basically, she's a student doctor. You know how you have like on placement or whatever? She works at a hospital in Nigeria, right? The elevators were not working, as in the lifts have not been working for so long. To the point where, like, say there's an emergency, they have to basically take the stairs for all. They've complained about it. They've filed so many things, whatever. You know, she died. She died because she went to get her food. The Uber driver or whatever it was, delivery guy was downstairs. She got in the lift, and the lift fell, and then she was stuck in there for about 2 hours, I think, because they didn't know how to. And obviously, all the students, and now they've been striking all the doctors or whatever. Then is it the governor's wife comes to the hospital the next day? She's like, "Oh, like I understand. I feel your pain too. I'm angry as well. But let's not get too much." And then what gets me, and I don't know how other African countries run, but I feel like this is what Nigeria is the way it is. She's like, "I'm coming to you as your mother."
Yeah, they like
my mum there.
They love the sentiment. That's the problem. And sentiment
Do you know what I
will
mean?
kill
It's
that
all
country.
sentimental
It's
stuff.
the country.
They literally have no regard for life because for me, it's like you're leader of a country where you guys have health, even if it's like a little headache. They're flying to France. They're coming to the UK. They're going to the States. They're flying out to go and have consultations with whatever doctor, whoever it is that they want to figure. Isn't that how Obasanjo's wife died? She died because she flew out to get surgery.
Yeah.
To get body works done.
Yeah.
That's how she died. Do you get me? And you do these things, and then the hospitals and the trains and the buses and all that stuff that's in your countries are not working properly. They don't care. They literally have no regards for human life at all. So that's why they sleep. They sleep with the AC on high, and they have no cares in the world. But then when it's election time,
that's when you want the people.
Now we've got more electricity. Now is this. Now you're giving people rice. And you're giving them these stupid things. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I know this is a very difficult question to ask yet, but how best can Africa kind of thwart the influence of the West? Because the reality is, remember, I think who was it? Was it Tariq or Nana spoke about the whole Pan-African currency and the unification of Africa, right? In a real tangible way, under Gaddafi, right? And we saw what happened to him, right? The French got involved, the US got involved, they killed him, and now there's just rebels. Libya is just a finished state right now. There's nothing good that's happening in Libya. But before, as much as you want to call him a terrorist from their perspective, right? There was order in the country. There was order. People had stuff. People didn't really go without, right? Someone as powerful as Gaddafi, who spoke his mind, who didn't back down. We saw what he did for decades, right? Yes, decades, but still.
I'm not a fan of him personally.
Yes. There's always going to be certain things, right? Even myself, right? I thought he was a bit too... He cared a lot about the Arab ascension as well, right? But still, he still came and did something, or at least planned to do something for Africa, right? Which would have benefited Black Africa. They've killed him. Who else is going to come out and speak and be like Gaddafi? Are we going to see another Gaddafi? Is anyone going to be as bold as that? Is anyone? Do you feel like any of these leaders are prepared to put their life on the line?
No, because they're too busy in
then that means
their pockets. This is
does that mean that we're done then?
Leaders, of course not.
Does that mean that we're done then?
No, because I think what needs to happen is that the current leaders need to move to the side. All of these old ass men that are ruling countries need to be moved to the side. You need to get young people That's the issue. There needs to be, but not young people who are in the bloodline of the people that just left. I mean, like new talents, people different people. That I feel like that's what will actually help Africa. I feel like if all the African countries did that, I reckon that would make a difference.
You don't feel like the Americans and the French, they're so experienced in this that they'll just find a way to speak to them and make them just comply and set up a new deal that will benefit the West as well. Because at the end of the day, right, we have to realize America, in terms of resources, uranium resources, they've got nothing.
They still get them from Russia.
They get it from, imagine.
And now that's been cut off.
Exactly. Like Mark said, they sanctioned everything else.
Apart from the
uranium. You know what I'm saying? So bearing that in mind, surely they're not going to back down. They're not going to say, okay, Africa, we're done with you. They're going to always do something.
But that's why I said the people that need to come in need to be people that are very knowledgeable. They understand the power that we actually have. They understand what it is that we have and how these other countries need us. And I feel like if they played it right, they would have to, like the other countries, I think it can be a good relationship. It can be a good working relationship.
Okay.
Because at the moment, a lot of Western countries are the ones that benefit and African countries don't really benefit anyway. Yeah. So many people who are there who understand the power that we have, understand the resources that we have, understand why it is that, like present to these Western countries why it is that you need us, why you need some of our stuff. Because some of the things that you're running, all your tech stuff, all of this, all of that, you get that from us.
Yep.
So actually, if we step away from you, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Do you get what I mean?
I'm not trying to be difficult, right? But I'm just trying to throw something back at you, right?
With the IMF though, them deals the IMF have made, it's so messy. Yeah. So I don't know who's coming in to come and sort that out.
This is probably propaganda, but I heard something about how Putin was looking to, it's probably fake, clear the debts. I'm not too sure.
I heard that.
I heard that.
That's what I'm saying.
But
at the same time, Putin likes to separate himself from the Wagner Group. You know what I'm saying? Because some people actually believe that coup was a fake coup, innit? That really it was just a way of making it look to the world that there was some type of divide between Russia and the Wagner Group. That way it allows Russia to control what's going on in Africa via the Wagner Group. You know what I'm saying? And really be like, we're kind of hands off. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
I'd be more inclined to believe that still.
Good morning, caller.
Good afternoon. Or morning. Are you guys all right?
Yeah, all good, thanks. How are you?
This is good vibes.
No.
Saying good vibes.
I'm very well, thank you. Well done, Christy. Your ears are picking up. I think that was.
See, where are you from? I didn't know she had an accent.
She's putting it on.
She's putting it on. Oh.
That is actually not true. This is my real accent. When I come from London, that's a fake accent. But anyway, I wanted to say was I really with the idea that people
your energy is too high. Listen, I'm gonna say your energy is too high for me today. I cannot.
I'm confused. I don't know what her accent is now.
I think I talk about voice, and I really want the masses to hear me. Continue.
Okay, go on, good vibes.
Yes, we can hear you, man.
Thank you so much. So basically, I really agree with the chat. There should be a coalition between Africa. However, it's a very big continent. I think the idea of us having our own currency, also very interesting, but I do think it has to be split up between the continent. Esther said a very valid point, and I know she was joking. I think she's joking about the idea of us being again. But I know she means that it does need to be a complete overhaul of the political system. And some countries in Africa are doing better than others when it comes to corruption. So I think they can all benefit to learn each other if they were to kind of like do a whole coalition type thing. Similar to the UN. Not everyone in the UN has the same currency, but they do need to have like rules and things like that. And they can have like sanctions on like decide like, okay, these countries like China, they can only have a certain percentage of our land, of our this, of our that, to keep it safe. That being said, I'm just going to end on that of the last thing. By the way, I hope everyone knows you hate Mars. I actually really like the guy. I just had to fight him because like we're quite similar. And I think that's all I wanted to say. I'll say, one last thing. Ebony was saying something about the hard, and I didn't know what it was about. And I just feel like in general, we should talk about African black politics all over the world a little bit more. But yeah, thank you guys.
Can I say before you go, you are a very skilled woman because she's still talking at the same pace, but in a new accent. That's lit.
Oh really? To me, I feel like I'm talking a lot slower. That's really interesting.
No, but definitely slower than
it started off slow, then it sped up.
It's sped up.
You see, because you guys made me shy. You exposed my identity, you see. So that's yeah.
Good vibes. Can I ask a question?
She said it wasn't you.
Where you
Go
from?
ahead.
Where you
Oh,
from?
Eman, I had a question for you. No, this was it.
Okay.
So basically, Eman,
Yeah.
you mentioned about politicians being willing to die for their cause. I hear that. I respect it. But do you think that's fair? Do you think that, well, first of all, do you feel like you are? I'm not putting you on the spot. Do you feel like it's fair that, in certain countries, you do need to be willing to die and lay it all on the line to be a political figure and to, fight your people and sort out stuff that you care about. However, in other countries, it's really not the case. And you just get to actually be in politics and fine, you have the passion, but today, Jeremy Corbyn's not dead. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if Jeremy Corbyn was in Nigeria, maybe he might have been dead rather than just having a media blitz. So I'll leave that there, but I just have to want to do that.
I mean, at the end of the day, all you can do is play the cards that you're dealt, innit? And it just, we're born and, to parents or ourselves in countries where for our freedom, you have to be prepared to die for it. You know what I'm saying? The white man's been doing what he's been doing for hundreds of years. And the only way that we've ever seen countries actually get some type of freedom is when people died for it. You know what I'm saying? So
you're not wrong, but I just think that's one of the reasons why we haven't had wonderful people like yourselves who are passionate, because of course I think there's many people like you in Nigeria who wants to change the whole country, but it's my mom's dying on me. I can't just go and allow myself to be killed because of XYZ. I've just got to keep grinding. So I do feel that's quite a big barrier. I don't think people are lazy or we don't care about the corruption. We really do care. I just wanted to say that, but
100%, you're right, and it's easier said than done. But I think when somebody has an understanding of destiny, right, and their role in this world, I think they kind of see things different. You know what I'm saying? They're not necessarily prepared to live for everybody, but they're prepared to die for everybody. And I think that's a good distinction that you need to have when you're a leader, right? We've seen people like Samora Machel, Patrice Lumumba, Sankara, all of these people who were killed, but very young. You know what I'm saying? Their wives went without husbands. Their kids went without fathers. And these people they knew what was at stake, but they still did it. You know what I'm saying? And I think more people like that, it will become apparent to the world what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, when they killed Lumumba, right, in the early 60s, right, the CIA, the Belgian government, all of them acted as though they didn't know what happened. It's only decades after when they came out. And I saw an interview, documentary, with some of the guys who were behind it laughing, talking about how they still got teeth of Lumumba in their possession. These animals, this is what they do. So I say all of that just to say we have to be prepared for that. Yes, it's unfortunate that the only way to get freedom, at least for us, right, is to die for it. But I feel like that's just part and parcel of life. You're dealing with people, with devils who are prepared to kill everybody else, to subjugate everybody else, to exploit everybody else.
I totally agree. You can't have a big change without stuff like that. But I will say that maybe that's why, because you have to feel like your sacrifice is also worth it at the same time.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm that type of person. But if I knew that there was like I said, an African coalition or something that going to have a revolution this year, and then it's not like in 2-3 years the country's going to go back to shit again. Yeah. That will kind of make me that it's worth giving my life up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, 100%. But that's all I've got to say for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Didn't you have a question for him?
Take care.
Oh yeah. Good vibes. Where are you from? I wanted to ask. Ethnicity.
You'll find out, man, guys. Peace out.
I'm taking nowhere.
All right. I feel like we pretty much kind of touched on everything. Oh, except for the pipeline. So yeah, Mark, you kind of spoke about this earlier. Basically about this. Why Niger? Another reason why Niger is so important. Obviously, we spoke about the uranium reserves and things of that nature, but also because Niger is a potential host to this particular pipeline, which is going to run from Nigeria all the way to the north to Algeria, where the white man can siphon and take all this energy. Niger has obviously stopped this, thank God, right? And so this is another reason why I think it will be very difficult for the whites, the French, the US to basically say, yeah, that's fine. It's not going to be that's fine situation. They're obviously they're gonna try and do something. Ideally, yes, come to the table, let's talk about certain things, but I don't see Tinubu basically being okay with just a conversation. I don't see it. Because like you said, you guys, I think it was Nana that said it, most of these properties are in France, they control him. They control him. You know what I'm saying? But Niger is to the north of Nigeria, and it has to run through Niger.
There's just more tap dancing. They're going to beef them. They're going to beef them to allow them to make them put the pipeline through to give energy to Europe. Like, are they really going to do that?
What do you mean? You mean, well, Nigeria did that?
Yeah.
I mean, potentially. Because he was one of those who was like, yo, let's get our Nigerian army into Niger ASAP. It was only because the Nigerian assembly said no. Otherwise, they would be there right now trying to get Bazoum back in power. Because he's controlled by the US, he's controlled by the French. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about Africa as a whole. He cares about his right now. And that's the situation that we unfortunately face, man. And to be fair with you, I don't think any other Nigerian president would have done anything different.
I'm not 100%. I actually don't think so.
Yeah, so... Yeah, this is the situation that we're in. Obviously, guys, as we get more development on what's going on, we will relate to the peoples and that, you know what I mean? But I think we kind of touched on most that we can.
Let's get into some more headlines.
All right, so our next headline. Home Office contractors were told that potentially deadly Legionella bacteria had been detected on the Bibi Stockholm hours after asylum seekers were taken aboard the barge. So Dorset Council flagged the Legionella test results to the barge contractors on the day that they received them, which was on the 7th of August, raising questions about why the evacuation of 39 people from the barge took 4 days. Initially, the government indicated that further tests needed to be carried out before it could be determined how serious a risk the levels of Legionella posed. However, the UK Health Secretary Agency sources have confirmed that the only Legionella test results the Home Office, Dorset Council, UK HSA, and the Home Office contractors operating the barge currently have are those made available to Dorset Council on Monday, the 7th of August. While further tests on levels of Legionella in water have been conducted, no results are yet available. On Sunday evening, yesterday, Dorset Council confirmed to The Guardian that it raised the alarm about Legionella with the Home Office contractors on the day that it received the Legionella test results. So it's unclear when the contractors told the Home Office about the results. Next headline takes us to Africa, again, where South Africa's former president, Jacob Zuma, has been released from prison due to a remission of non-violent offenders approved by the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa. This was relayed by the Justice Minister, Ronald Lamola. In the latest twist arising from the sentence for contempt of court, Zuma was ordered to report back to jail, arriving at 6 a.m. at a detention facility in the eastern town of Escourt. This is what the prison service said. There, he was admitted into the system, only to be let go in just over an hour under a remission process to ease overcrowding in prison. This is according to the National Commissioner of Correctional Services. That person also said, what's his name, Dobakale. He said that upon admission into the system, he was subjected to administrative processes. He was then released. Zuma is 81 currently, right? And he was sentenced to 15 years in June of 2021 after refusing to testify before a panel investigating financial corruption and cronyism under his presidency. He started serving his term in July of 2021, causing protests that descended into riots and looting that left more than 350 people dead in the worst violence to hit South Africa since the advent of democracy. But after just 2 months, he was freed on medical parole for an undisclosed condition. And it's time to pay the bills. That's it for the headlines.
All right, let's get into some Word on Road. I haven't got much for you guys today at all. This I saw over the week. No, I saw it when she posted it on Friday, I think. And I just thought it was really, really sweet. So Sasha Ellese, she basically posted about being a Christian and like figuring out social media, kind of find the balance. And I just thought it was very, very sweet. So I'm going to share it. She says, social media has been difficult for me the past couple of months. As I draw nearer to God, so does my appetite for what I do /post. The things I was into posted before just isn't who I am now. I've definitely had moments where my flesh has tried to draw me out and a few times has won. But I'm really going through a sanctification process, dying to old ways, inhabiting new ways, and I'm always so reluctant to not overpollute my socials with a new me, and at times have just posted what I feel everyone wants to see versus what God wants. But my identity as a Christian grows daily, and it's so important to me that I have to just be led by the Spirit and do what He wants. Anyway, I say all of that to say thank you for those who are patient with me and have noticed this change and for still supporting me, even though I'm not the same person you originally followed for. but still find joy in what I do post as I embark on this journey. And she says, I even think that why are you posting that you're supposed to be a Christian people? Because even though it's the wrong messenger, it's the right message. Appreciate you guys. I thought that was so positive, man. Nala has really good parents, beautiful parents. But yes, I just thought that was really positive. And then also, my last thing for today is Lizzo. So apparently Lizzo's name was one of the considerations for the Super Bowl, but she's been taken out. She's been removed from being considered based on the lawsuits and stuff she's going through. So anyone who doesn't know, she's been taken to court currently by 3 of her ex-dancers who worked on the shows and her tours and stuff with her. And they're alleging stuff to do with, they're taking her and I believe the manager, one of her managers or something like that, choreographer? One of the women anyway that's on her team, to court because apparently that woman always talks about Christianity and people's religion and all that kind of stuff. And that is a form of discrimination. And apparently she shames them and whatnot. And also they're taking her to court for, I guess in a way, like bullying, harassment, also some sexual stuff in there about her when they've gone out, forcing them to do like sexual things with dancers and whatever club they're in and all that kind of stuff. So that's why she's going to court. But yeah, it's affecting a lot that she's doing. And Super Bowl is organised, the performance was organised by Rock Nation. And she was actually meant to headline a festival that Jay-Z had. And that's also been cancelled as well. So she's going for a tough time. And allegedly what's happening is her team are trying to figure out how it is that they can just get her out of this sinking ship and try and sort things out. And yeah, but I feel like it's one of those things where until it goes to court, until the case is heard and the verdict, all that kind of stuff, it's not really going to, nothing's going to happen. She's going to have to sit still for a while because allegedly there's also more people that have come forward. I think there's been 6 people in the past week that have also come forward. So she's having a hard time. She's having a hard time.
Do you know what's making me laugh though? Yeah, you know when it's like, oh, I'm innocent, I haven't done anything wrong. So why are so many people coming out and talking? Something isn't adding up. The math ain't muffin. So
this is it. But I feel like with her case, I find it very interesting because I struggle to believe that how she was fat shaming them. I think with the fat shaming claims, I don't think that's going to hold in court because essentially, if you're at a place of work and you're meant to be and you're a dancer, if you do start putting on weight where it's affecting what you're doing, and not even just being a dancer, any job you're doing, if you're going through something that starts to affect how well you can work, you will be up for review. So I feel like that claim about the fat shaming one, that one is not really, I feel like that's an employer saying that you're not up to standard anymore.
No, but isn't that a form of discrimination though?
Nah, because you're not performing, you're not doing your job properly. So what the girl was saying, so basically the girl was saying that she was reading in between the lines. The conversation they had with her was that, what's going on with you because you're not performing the way you usually do. Then the girl talked about, she's got some mental health issues, dealing with blah, blah, and they were like, okay, do you know what? Maybe take some time. And I think they were going to something in therapy or whatever. And they were like, okay, we can pay for some therapy for you. Basically take some time to sort yourself out and then come back. It's basically sick leave, essentially. But then the girl was reading in between the lines saying that she was being fat shamed.
Right.
Do you get what I mean? So no one actually said to her, you're fat, you need to lose weight. It was more what's going on with your dancing, blah, blah. So you can think you're still a good dancer, but if you're putting on weight or whatever's going on, you can think you're the best. But when we're on the stage, you're hitting the moves last. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like there is that, but I do think as well, I feel like a line was crossed in terms of I'm your employer and we're friends thing. And I feel like that's difficult because obviously when they go out, when they go on tour and whatever, they go like after parties, blah, 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 blah.
It's like your friends.
Do you get what I mean? So I feel like that line has been blurred. And I think that the line's been blurred on both sides. And I think that's where we then get the whole harassment and the fighting and the balling of the fists and all that stuff. So it just feels like the house wasn't being taken care of the way it should have been, basically. And then what else? There was someone else that said something else. The whole Christian thing, that one, she's definitely going down for that. Not Lizzo, but the manager that was doing all that. She's definitely going down for that. Because apparently one of the girls was a virgin and she's out here telling everyone her business. And also, it's just like, but that again speaks to the environment about, is this a place of work or use lot friends that gist? Do you get what I mean? And some of the girls are also saying how they feel like because they weren't going out, they were targeted because they weren't going to the after parties and stuff like that. Every single job we've spoken about on here, how you get promotions and you get favoured when you go to after work drinks. So do you know what I mean? So the lawsuit it's an interesting thing. Like, I'm not dismissing their claims at all, because I do have a thing where when victims say they've gone through something, it's not for me to say you didn't go through that. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be interesting trial. But I think there's so much damage being done. I don't know. It's interesting. I've never seen someone in this position who is seen in public as kind of like a minority be the one who's having to go to court. If that makes sense. So it's interesting. It'd be interesting to see what happens. But
people in the chat are saying apparently it's more than just the fat shaming thing. It's to do with the bigger girls not getting the same pay as the slimmer girls. So that's definitely discrimination.
Yeah, that's fair. But then that's the thing that he's dancing better.
And what role do they have? Is somebody a lead?
And you're a backup dancer. Because that's the thing though, because her entire brand is about big girls and whatnot, yeah. But I feel like it's a performance. So the girls the ones that are going to court and saying they don't get that much pay, if you're the ones who were performing like that and other people got bonuses, I feel like it's going to be a very interesting case. I'm going to keep up with it because I'm very, very interested to see how it all plans out. But I'm definitely not saying like Lizzo is innocent. And I'm not dismissing those girls' claims. Because I think also another thing as well is people think that when you're someone who's not conventionally pretty or you're fat or you're this or that, you have to be a nice person. She's just a bitch like everybody else. Do you know what I mean? So she sounds like a bitch to me. Everything I'm reading, I'm just thinking, this is a bitch. This is a bitch that you bump into on the high street, anywhere you go. She's just got the normal character that a lot of people have, but because she's fat, you feel like she should be like a unicorn, a cuddly unicorn. First of all, that's her brand. So when she's speaking to her fans, of course she's going to be all sweet and stopping the show and saying, oh my gosh, I used to get bullied too. And da-da-da. Of course she's going to perform. She's a performer. That's going to do that. But my thing is, use up for that with your friends. And I think people forget, like, every place of business is a place of business. Don't matter how close you are to people, it's a place of business. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with all of it. I am interested in.
I thought she was a wrong one when she came to the basketball game and her arse cheeks were out and she was just there, arse cheeks out. There's kids about and you're just there and you had no recourse that you thought that was correct. I'm sorry, but that behavior was very menacing to me.
I forgot to order something from Amazon. Sorry. I wanted it today as well. So annoying.
But I mean,
she was but she's leaning into the whole fat thing.
Yeah, but this is,
and that's my thing. So she's gonna do outlandish things because that's her brand.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can lean into the fat thing. That's fine, but having your ass cheeks out is inappropriate, regardless of whether you're fat or slim. At a basketball game with kids there, do you get what I mean?
It's wild.
It's inappropriate.
And then when people were saying,
she would turn around and say you're fat shaming.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's got nothing to do with that.
That's what I don't like.
And this is the world people have set up.
And this is what I don't like.
This is a consequence.
But then
that happens to every minority group though. When people say there's a group of people who go to brunch and they're loud as black girls. When the people say they're loud, they say, "Why you're saying we're aggressive black women?" Every group does that. Every disadvantaged group in society does that to their advantage. So she's just gone and just done the same thing. That's why it's all interesting to me. Because I'm like
I can't
so how are you gonna get away with this one?
I feel like the black women feel like they gotten.
With what?
With her, yeah.
But they deserved it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, whenever you look to somebody, if you look, everyone is a human being. But when you think that you put someone on a pedestal and they do whatever they do, they let you down, you're an egg. Because why are you looking to Lizzo for anything? She's a normal person and you're not around her. All you see is this woman's the marketing around Lizzo has been brilliant. Brilliant. Her going to the basketball game, all that kind of stuff. All of that is brilliant because all it does is get people talking. She's a business. She's a walking business. So anyone who's living a normal life and you're looking at Lizzo thinking, oh yeah, like I feel inspired. Now I'm going to go to a basketball game with my cheeks out. You're an egg. You're an absolute egg. But again, I know I'm speaking from a place of privilege where I don't look to people for inspiration.
Yeah, obviously I don't jump on the bandwagon of following people in it. So it's like it is what it is. But the problem is a lot of people do, and dare I say, a lot of women is her biggest following, and a lot of women obviously jump on the bandwagon, and then when they get hit with something now, it's like, oh my gosh, we've been bamboozled. But anyway,
I mean, hopefully, whatever I hope for. I don't know what I hope for. I don't care. That's that for me. Let's get into people's journal.
All right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. First thing I want to talk about, some sad news, man. It seems like we may not be getting the Zuckerberg and Musk fight, man.
No one wanted to see that.
Why? You don't want to see one of them get knocked out?
No, I don't want to see. Actually, if I watch Mark. He's good looking. I'm trying to see Elon fight.
Well, it's Mark who's pretty much come out and said that Elon Musk isn't serious, man.
Yeah, because his face is too. He's got to protect his fine face. Elon ain't got nothing to lose.
He said, yeah, he's not serious about holding a cage fight and it's time to move on, right? So he put a post out anyway on Threads, basically saying that he offered Mr. Musk a real date, right? Let's get it done by this date, all that type of stuff. But obviously, Elon Musk just kept making excuses. This is what he's saying, isn't it? Mr. Musk also on Sunday suggested on X, on Twitter, that he was willing to fight as early as Monday. I don't know why. Obviously, when people start talking like that, we just know that it's lies, isn't it? Anyway, long story short, we obviously know that it seems like Elon Musk is ducking, isn't it? Yeah, so unfortunately, we may not get that fight. Next thing I wanted to mention is the whole ULEZ scrappage scheme. I wanted to talk about this last time I was in. But basically, what it is the situation where there's eligibility for a scrappage scheme, which is the ULEZ scrappage scheme, has been extended now to more people, basically, because of this expansion of the ULEZ zone, innit? So basically, what it means is that all Londoners are able to access up to £2,000, right, to replace non-compliant cars. So if you've got a car that doesn't comply with ULEZ and you're having to pay that extortionate £12.50 a day to drive anywhere in Greater London, you can apply for this scheme and get up to £2,000 to replace your car. To me, this is just fraud. This is just exploitation again.
They did this before, though.
Yeah, they've extended it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to all Londoners because they've opened up the ULEZ thing, innit? Yeah.
What was £2,000 going to get you, though?
This is
to replace your car?
This is, can you imagine? Up to as well. So you may not even get the full 2,000. So yeah, man. Previously, ineligible drivers, they're basically able to apply from the 21st of August. So yeah, again, guys, if you've got a car that doesn't comply with the ULEZ, from the 21st of August, you can apply to get your £2,000 potentially
The cars
towards your new car.
Cars that comply must be hot cakes.
Not necessarily,
'Cause
but they are kind of newish.
Because isn't the
It's diesel.
expansion is happening in that end of the month, isn't it? End of this month. So people should be scrambling ideally. Because who's paying £12.50 a day?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, some people are just selling their cars and just doing without. But,
Okay,
yeah.
get your work on.
But yeah, man. I don't know how he thinks these type of things help the economy. It
People
just
don't
doesn't
get
help.
rushed enough.
Doesn't
That's the
help.
problem.
And I hear sometimes Labour people talking about, oh yeah, but Boris is the one who set it up. But isn't Khan just making it worse?
He's in it.
So what are we talking about here?
He's in public nuisance, that man.
But yeah. Anyway, next thing I wanted to talk about is basically, I'm not too sure if you guys have noticed any changes to this, right? But have you noticed how more houses seem to be having solar panels?
Yeah.
Well, basically, what they're saying is, according to this particular government body that accredits low carbon products, right? They're saying that UK households and businesses have installed more heat pumps and solar panels than ever before. They're basically saying that more than 120,000 solar panels have been installed since the start of this year, just this year alone. And over 3,000 heat pumps have been installed each month on average. If this rate continues, analysts are pretty much saying that nearly 250,000 households could have renewable energy installed by the end of the year. Right? Obviously, this is all in line with the government's pledge to reach its target of 70 gigawatts of solar capacity by 2035 and also 600,000 heat pump installations by 2028. And for those people who are interested in this, it's like government's offering people in England between £5,000 and £6,000 to basically get the boiler upgrade, right? Bear in mind, if they're giving you £5,000 to £6,000, your boiler is going to be costing
Much more.
Much more. You know what I'm saying? In Scotland, people actually can claim between 7,000 and 9,000 with an additional loan option of 7,500. So Scotland have a better deal. But yeah.
Don't you need the sun for solar panels?
Don't you what?
You need the sun for it.
Exactly.
And this UK is where they want to be doing solar panels.
Well,
People will have no lights.
Yeah, this
Even
is
NEPA.
it. This is it, man. But I guess they're trying to say that during the summer times, at least you won't have to pay
Which
as much.
this same summer that was cloudy outside.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the situation. Next thing I wanted to mention briefly is basically, remember before we spoke about the £400 energy bill support scheme, how certain people who are eligible for that can get £400 to help towards their energy and stuff like this. Well, some of the largest housing associations in the country have asked governments to basically bring that back and kind of extend it to the end of the year, because basically what they're saying is people who lived in care homes, who lived on narrow boats and park homes and stuff, they fail to receive this particular help because they don't pay their bills directly to the energy supply. Remember, when I was speaking about this before, that was one of the requirements, that you had to be able to pay directly to your energy supply, right, to basically be eligible for this. So people lost out on that £400, right? So people, more than 30 of Britain's largest housing associations have called out on these ministers to give them a second chance, because in total it's basically looking like 750,000 households who've missed out on this particular government support. So they want people to kind of obviously benefit from it. So they're saying, look, guys, give them a new deadline of the 31st of December instead of the initial 31st of May deadline. And the very last thing I wanted to mention, nothing big, but if you're kind of familiar with the crypto world, you'd kind of know about this man by the name of Sam Bankman-Fried, right? And he was basically the founder of FTX. So some months back, was it early this year, last year? Last year, isn't it, Brent?
FTX?
Yeah, when it collapsed.
Wasn't it this year?
Okay, maybe it was this year. Early this year. Was it last year?
Oh yeah, you would know, innit?
I'll get to my account.
I had nothing on there.
They're rude because I got US dollars sitting on there that I can't access. Why is that? That doesn't make sense. Because the US dollar's fine. Why can't I get my money?
They were little criminals.
They want to keep it.
Hmm?
They want to keep it.
That's rude.
They've lost a lot, so they want to keep what they have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got about $600 sitting there, and I want them.
It's a damn shame. Well, that guy, the guy who made all of that collapse, basically, who's the founder of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, he's basically had his $250 million bail revoked. And he's now been sent to jail, man, for alleged witness tampering. So, yeah, man.
Does that mean I ain't never getting my money?
I was about to say, that's not your $600 anymore. So you stop saying they've got mine. Nah. Lost out.
It's not looking good, man. So basically, this guy, he's charged with defrauding investors in the US, as you guys know, for allegedly stealing billions of dollars and spending tens of millions of dollars on political donations. Obviously, he's pleaded not guilty and he was on bail, but because of this alleged witness tampering fiasco, he's been now taken to jail. And that's pretty much it for him, man. But as the case develops, obviously, I will keep you guys updated on it. But that's pretty much it for the People's Journal.
Lovely. Let's get into Motivational Mondays.
All right, so we have a new entry.
From a different person?
Huh?
As in from a new voice?
Yes.
Don't know how I feel about this.
How does the other lady feel about this? Because did you fire her? Like,
No.
what's tea?
No.
There's a lot of pressure, you know, because don't pull
I
up
think we
trying to thing. If it's me, anyway, we'll see.
I was like, can we do a board so let's scope them. Let's make it fun.
No, I guess we'll know whether they're going to work in this town again or not after we listen.
That's
to it.
strategy. That is noise.
All right, so this person is
Is it a man?
technologist, a certified
I can put the
business.
headphones down.
You don't want to hear man.
Is it a man?
This person is a technologist,
Yeah.
a certified business coach consultant,
Okay.
and a startup mentor.
Yeah, okay. Like a life coach. All right, let's do it.
Foolishness.
I hope your voice is deep. Otherwise, you ain't got my vote.
I'm already not here for it. I vote to get the other girl back. Bring back she.
But she.
Can you hear the music?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. No, pause it. Sorry. Can you pass my headphones, please? I thought you were going to make it loud enough.
You have to get the ambience. That's Christy's on.
Is there another one?
I'm starting in 3, 2, 1.
I want you to take a minute to think about why you are
I know who this is.
Oh.
Deep within your soul, there's a whisper. And for some of you, it's a loud nagging conviction telling you that you're destined for more. There is something inside you telling you that you are bigger than the identity the world has given you. A limiting identity that you unintentionally give yourself. You might be a mother, but you know you are more than a mother. You might be a CEO of a company, but you feel unfulfilled. None of us are the labels we are assigned, and a label does not reflect our innermost desires. To achieve those desires, you need to disrupt your limiting identity and acknowledge that the choices you are making aren't moving you closer to the life you dream about. Remember, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you do want to change your life, then know this. 1. Being inspired doesn't create change. Being motivated doesn't create change. Information input without action output doesn't create change. 2. You cannot wait for permission. Stop waiting on other people and your friends to validate you and your ideas. They are your ideas. Give yourself that permission. 3. You are one choice away from a new beginning. Just one. Every achiever's story starts at ground zero, when they acknowledge that inner voice, when they stop ignoring it and recognize that they aren't on the path to fulfillment. So, if you are someone right now who is listening to your soul, and it's telling you that you want to elevate your life, telling you to take bold steps and leave that job or start that business, become a speaker or break from a relationship that isn't serving you, then believe this. You are one choice away from making a change that can start a new beginning or a new season. But first, starting today, you will make a commitment to take some time to listen without judgment and acknowledge what your inner voice is telling you. Only then can change begin.
That is such a timely message.
All right, big up her.
I love that.
That was better than I first feared. I'm glad it was a gal as well because I don't want to hear no man.
I wanted to hear a man.
Mm-hmm.
Like a man to motivate me.
No, men ain't really
Do the right
motivational.
things.
That was the co-founder of The New Black.
I know.
We know it's Danielle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just letting people know it's Danielle Dodu. She's going to be dropping insights every other week.
Nice.
Doing interchange. And we might even have more come on board.
I don't like this, man.
I like it, man. This was very time. I need
I'm
a copy of that.
I'm a creature of habit, man. You get what I'm trying to say? I like she.
You don't like when... Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
You don't like when you go to church, and the word is for you?
Yeah.
A word is for me.
I heard that.
So that's why we need the mix. We need... Because who knows who the word is for?
Yeah, no, it was good. I'm just saying, I like what I like. But obviously, it's not a democracy, so he's unlucky.
That's your employer.
She keep your lights on, boy.
That's your employer.
Say what I said.
You about to start this own lawsuit. That's how it starts. But that was lovely. Really like that. All right, let's get back into headlines. Sounded sick
loud,
there.
didn't it?
Did you hear it? Mm-hmm. Like a little...
Sorry about that. That was wild.
Very. All right. So next headline, trigger warning here. Very sad news. So a baby was inside the tent.
Aye.
Yeah. Trigger warning, guys. Triple trigger warning. The baby was inside a tent that was struck by a car after it veered off the road and crashed into a campsite. So this left 2 people in a serious condition and 7 others injured. Claire Harris, who runs the New Gale campsite in Pembrokeshire with her husband Mike, said that the baby is okay after the ordeal, thank God. It's not clear if the child is one of those who required hospital treatment. 2 people are in serious condition in hospital after a blue Ford Fiesta collided with a number of people in a tent shortly after 10:30 p.m. on Saturday. 1 person was airlifted to the University Hospital of Wales. 4 were taken by ambulance to Glangwilly Hospital, while 1 person was taken to Morriston Hospital. Mr. Harris said that the car was going at least 3 times the speed limit when it had to brake and lost control. He also said, I didn't realize a car could go that fast down this particular road. It was going at 80 or 90 miles per hour in a 30 miles per hour zone. It catapulted from the road because of the speed he was going over the ditch, separating the campsite and the main road, and landed about 100 meters from where the driver started braking. It turned 3 full turns and landed on its wheels. It rolled through a tent belonging to a family, and the baby was in that tent and was in a cot. The vehicle then rolled and rested on top of 3 people, The campers managed to lift the vehicle 90 degrees to tilt it forward and rest on its side, which then obviously freed the 3 people who were under it. He also said that miraculously there were no fatalities. There are no life-threatening injuries, but life-changing injuries of varying degrees. And the last headline, this could have been in the People's Journal, but I'll just give it to you now. And basically, this is that pubs in England and Wales will be able to continue selling takeaway drinks after the government decided to keep COVID licensing rules. They were allowed to serve customers through hatches when they were forced to close under pandemic laws in 2020. The rules was due to expire on the 30th of September, but the BBC has been told that they will now continue. The move, which is aimed at saving the trade from financial ruin, was previously extended twice during the pandemic. And the rules, which were granted in July of 2020, allow pubs without an off-premises license to sell takeaway alcohol without having to apply to the local council for permission. The change allowed them to keep trading during COVID restrictions. Emma McClarkin, who's the chief executive of the British Beer and Pub Association, whose members own over 20,000 pubs, welcomed the decision, saying that landlords would be pleased not to have to apply for additional licenses. She also said that this was a measure introduced to support our pubs during difficult times, and the Prime Minister must recognise that these businesses are still under immense pressure. And that's it for the headlines. It's time to pay the bills.
Let's get into the reaction.
Welcome to Reaction, Esther's favourite segment.
Do you know what I clocked the other day? So I'm on my timeline, man, my business, and I'm seeing a bunch of talks about football's coming back, and I'm like, when did it leave? So what football is coming back?
The Premier League.
So what have we been doing all this time?
World Cup.
Women's World Cup.
No, I'm not talking about that.
They finished in May, so we've had a break.
We've recently started reporting about the Women's World Cup. That has not been going on for months.
Probably because of the transfer window that made it seem that way.
But the league started now, it's back.
Because you and Yusuf were not talking about Women's World Cup when you were out here talking for time. What was that about?
It was transfer.
I don't know, man. Yusuf chat shit.
That's all.
Wow. You say hearing that. Don't let him do that to you.
Yusuf was turning up with me last night. Right, yeah.
So one of us might be.
But
okay, well, it's fun.
Let's get into some results from the weekend. So,
of what?
The football.
Which one? Is this the women's one? Has the league started again?
The Premier League.
That started?
Yeah. That's what you saw. That's what.
There was matches over the weekend, boy. Wait, every man that was in front of match of the day, boy. Jeez.
That was funny. Okay,
whatever.
That suit me. I missed yesterday's game stuff. But yeah, it started on Friday. Burnley lost 3-0 to Man City. And then on Saturday, Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest 2-1. Bournemouth and West Ham drew 1-1. Brighton and Hove Albion beat New Boys Luton 4-1. Fulham, which was a decent game actually, they beat Everton 1-0. New Boys, Sheffield United lost 1-0 to Crystal Palace. And maybe new Big Six contenders Newcastle absolutely thumped Aston Villa 5-1. Dope game, to be fair. Great football on display. And then yesterday, in games which I missed, Brentford held Spurs to a draw. That was 2-2. And Liverpool went to the bridge, couldn't get the victory. I think that's like the 7th consecutive draw in a row. They drew 1-1 with Chelsea. So, yeah, we have all of that. Don't want to confuse y'all. There's some women's results here as well.
When does that finish?
I don't know.
Ain't England in...
Soon, hopefully. Australia and France drew 0-0, but Australia won on penalties. They should be going to the final. It's in Australia, isn't it? They better get there. England beat Colombia 2-1. That was on Saturday. And on Friday, Spain beat Holland 2-1 and Sweden beat Japan 2-1. Anything to say about them games, Brent?
What, the Spain?
Sorry, what?
What are you talking about?
The Prem.
What happened to you?
What do you mean?
Why are you kissing your teeth?
Because I just read out the women's results because they was there.
I'm doing 3 things at once. So when I say, what are you talking about? It's because I didn't hear you.
Oh yeah, I know, but why would we never spoke about the women's football?
I wasn't listening.
That's what I said. Did you want to say anything about them games on the weekend? Obviously, Arsenal won.
Oh, you're talking about those games? Yeah.
The games.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on then.
There's so much talking going on then, isn't there?
What did you make of Arsenal? Well, I'm going to talk about the Arsenal result because I know that's near and dear to your heart.
Did you watch the game?
Yes, I missed. Oh shit! Because I never saw the Forest goal. I think I watched the first half, maybe. Did I catch any of the second? I definitely saw the first half, I believe. That was in the morning. It was the early kickoff, right?
You look so unimpressed.
No, it wasn't in the morning.
When it the early
And
kickoff?
it started at 1.
It started at 1 because it was delayed. Yeah, that's the early kickoff, 12, because obviously the coverage starts from 11, so we're watching it from the
So
morning.
yes, it was in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed the second half. I never saw. I missed.
You saw Saka's goal though. Yeah. Highlight. Let's finish it there.
That was nice. Havertz didn't look too terrible in 8 row.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
Okay.
What do you mean? Give me something.
I'm giving him some time.
Are you gonna give him? You're gonna
100%. I'm still waiting for Rice though.
Well, you are talking about the Elneny thing and him going sideways and whatnot. But didn't it just give you a sense of like control, like just always making the right pass? Maybe it wasn't forward passes and all that kind of stuff. But every time he won the ball back, he got it. He was always there. It was an option. He kept it ticking. Didn't it give you like a sense of control?
No, in my head, how it is you like hyped him up. I'm looking forward eagerly to that, and I think it will come, I guess, when he beds in a lot more.
Yeah, and also though, if he's got a lot of talent around him, it's like needs must, isn't it? He's got the ability to play them passes, but that's might not necessarily be the role and what he's here for. You don't need to be doing the raking passes and stuff like that. Like I'm saying, it's just about the control. You got Havertz beside you, Odegaard beside you. Let them do what they're doing. I'm not even gonna lie. It wasn't, like I said, I only watched the first half. And yeah, you probably wouldn't have seen anything that you want to see, but I saw it look like he was just controlling the midfield, always there for an option, always shielding the defence, and just always doing the right thing, keeping the ball moving. I think that's in keeping with what you would want from your midfielder, no?
Sorry, that's not what I thought you were saying that he was going to be. So no, that's just a regular person. That's Elneny.
And then he doesn't fill me with confidence when I see him playing. But I don't know. I'm not an Arsenal supporter.
Anyway, I'll wait patiently for him.
All right then.
I'm still looking to see the £100 million valuation.
I heard that. I thought it was a very competent performance for his first time at home in a different role. Remember, he's used to playing in that West Ham team, like I said, that's so tight and compact, and he's got Souček usually holding his hand. There's 2 of them in the base. Even at England, it's Declan Rice. I mean, it's Henderson with him. You know what I'm trying to say? That so being the single pivot and being alone and having to cover all that space is definitely new to him. So he's gonna have to bed in. But I thought he done it well, man.
Okay, he was bought to replace Partey, right?
I thought they was gonna play together. If I'm honest with you.
Okay, all right, cool.
That's what I thought. And ideally,
all right,
that's what you would want. But I don't know what's going on with Partey. I don't know. Would you want him to replace Partey?
I hear he's not on bail anymore.
Would you want him to replace Partey or would you want them to play together? Because I think
No, they have to play together currently. They can't replace Partey yet. He's not ready.
I feel like, obviously, I know you've got Havertz and you want him to play in the thing, but when the signing got made initially, I thought the ideal midfield three is going to be Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. I think that's the best midfield. That's the best midfield you can put out.
Partey plays where in the 6?
Partey can go forward. He can.
Okay.
He can do more.
Okay.
You free him up.
Okay.
Partey's got a little bit about him.
All right.
It depends which one, but even Declan has as well. It depends which one you wanted to. I don't know what your preference would be. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm patiently waiting. We won the game, which is good. Over to you guys, right?
Yeah.
Predictions today. Who are you playing?
Wolves.
That's a win.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. They're in disarray, man. The gaffer walked out.
Yeah.
Torre's gone.
Yeah.
Neves is gone.
Yeah,
Martinho's gone. Jimenez is gone.
Yeah.
It should be cool. Last time we played them at home last season, we beat them 2-0. We played them twice. They didn't even score a goal against us, so it should be more keeping it the same. I'm expecting a drumming, to be honest with you. If we don't hit 3, I won't be happy.
Yeah, because you're going there, aren't you?
Yeah.
A proper fan.
I'm a real fan.
This is it.
Like, I don't just sit here
This
talking
is
like
it.
I go to games.
This
you know
is
what I'm
it.
trying to say? You know, obviously, there's always a different opinion between Twitter fans and real attending fans. Like, it's always a different feeling in the stadium, you get me? Because we know we actually care about the players. We don't just say
You
stuff.
all know.
We know. Well, go on.
You all know, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously as well, when you're watching the game,
It's different.
it's different because on TV you see different angles. You don't get to see stuff that people's doing off the ball. You don't get to really see that team shape and all these kind of things. So you don't know what you don't know in it. But obviously, I'm a proper fan, man.
100%. I like how you started this season.
It's the only way.
This is good.
I'll probably go up at least once a month. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm loving United. We was playing good football last night. Every time I went Old Trafford last year, I left happy. So more of the same. You get me?
3-0?
Hoping. Well, I don't know.
If I could do -3 -1, then because we're not doing it.
What? No, man. Onana should
Lower
be
than
fine.
nil. Come on, Onana's there.
So what, you think we will concede?
You won't concede if I could get lower than 0.
I said -1, 3 -1. No, I'm looking forward to seeing it because it was annoying the ball going back to De Gea and he's just kicking it out all the time, conceding possession, and then with that'll give anyone a chance. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if you don't control the game and you give teams a chance to counter on you and stuff like that, break down in the play and all that, like anyone could score against you. You get me? So I'm looking forward to actually controlling the game for once. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, our results never went amazingly in pre-season, but the performances were actually quite decent. Like I said, it's a totally different style. It's not just all counter-attacking, even though that's where we got a lot of our goals from. We still do the counter-attacking thing. But it showed some control, you get me? So say like a team like Wolves that's not necessarily in a good place, I'd like to see how they deal with it. You get me? I'm expecting to have the bulk of the possession. Yeah, man. Old Trafford, baby.
Newcastle looking good?
Huh?
Newcastle looking good?
Oh, they're on fire,
Did you watch the
man.
Chelsea-Liverpool game?
No, I was filming, so I missed that. But I heard Liverpool started off strong and then Chelsea grew into the game. I was saying Enzo and that was bossing it. Newcastle, I like Newcastle, man. Even though it's the first game, I really like Newcastle, man. They are decent. That midfield three, because I liked it when it had Longstaff in there. I liked it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so you add Tonali. So on his first game, you don't know how the season's going to pan out, but he looked good. He scored. I think Joe Linton's went. I don't understand how Joe Linton's gone from being one of the worst strikers I've ever seen in my life to one of the coldest midfielders in the league. And like, if you don't watch Newcastle play, you won't understand. But there's not like I ain't seen like a dominating midfielder like him. Obviously, technically, they're not even the same level. But I mean, like, pick up the ball, travelling, strength, like Yaya Toure or something like that. Like these man can't keep up with him when he's running through the midfield. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you ain't got legs in your midfield and you come up against that team, you're in trouble. You're gonna know about it. It's gonna be a long day. You get me? But they're proper decent. Isak, quality. Even if he's starting in front of Wilson and Wilson comes off the bench, like, what are you doing there? If Wilson can stay fit, myth. I like Newcastle. I like Newcastle a lot. Harvey Barnes came on, done more in his little cameo than Gordon done the whole game. Like, and people forget how good Harvey Barnes was before he got his injury. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think Gareth would have took him to the Euros and that if he never if he never got injured. Before he got injured, he was like the highest scoring Englishman and doing all that kind of stuff. So there's quality there. They bought well. I like Newcastle.
I'm seeing them competing, man.
Hmm?
I'm seeing them competing.
You feeling it?
Offense.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah, man.
It was a good game, you know. And it started off. I didn't think it was going to go like that because remember DRB scored in his debut as well. And DRB equalised quick, and I was thinking, oh, okay. And in pre-season, they had like a 3-3. You get me? And obviously, Emery, Villa's in their ascension as well. So I was thinking, this is going to go off. But yeah, they put that right. They put that right quick.
Teams are going to have some problems going to
St James's Park, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you come out of there with points or a result, you done
100%.
you done good. You done good. It's interesting. Obviously, it's just the first games and that, but people are setting their stalls out. Like even us, like playing last, we gotta play properly because a lot of the teams who are thought to be the teams, they performed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like they performed. They done what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
City dispatched off Burnley, like as you would think.
Yeah.
Even though the last 10, 15 was shaky for you, you dealt with them at home like you would think for the majority of the game. You was stronger, dominating. Just you know what I'm saying. Chelsea and Liverpool's cash the Titans anyway, so that can go either way.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch the whole game. I'm saying even Spurs, even though they drew and it was away, they're playing stuff. Like I don't know, like just
don't mention Spurs, innit?
Sorry. No, but I'm just saying a lot of the teams that you would think would do their thing. They done their thing. You get me?
So all eyes on United now, which I'm convinced they're gonna. I said 3 - 1. Yeah.
If we drop any points today, our season's over.
Is it possible? Is it possible? You have a banana.
I'm done. If we drop any points today,
Impossible.
I'm just letting you know, it's over if we drop any points today.
Impossible. Man of the match on Man of the match on
Well,
that would suggest that he had a lot of work to do, though.
Or maybe he was just controlling. You never know. He might get a couple of assists.
Yeah, scored a winner.
Hey, you might get the winner, you know.
It's possible.
It's possible. Bicycle kick.
He's possible. Anything's possible. I'm glad you're going to the first game, man.
Yeah, man. Have to, man. Energy's right. All right, cool. Let's get into some... Shall I read these headlines or you just want to chop it up?
Yeah, we just discuss it instead.
So, AJ defeat Helenius by knockout in the 7th round. Did you watch it?
No, I watched the highlights, I totally forgot about it.
I swear.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it then. I
It was
forgot.
right.
It was whack.
Like, you know what it is? I think it's fixed. I'm going to be honest, because even the way he fell, like, on the ropes, it was
Yeah,
like...
I saw that.
I felt like it was fixed, because if I'm honest, I felt like there were so many times before that AJ could have knocked him out, but it's like he was waiting and playing the long game, and I was just thinking, he's already shaky. What are you waiting for? Do you get what I mean? And then when he knocked him out, it was like... I felt like it was staged. I'm not going to lie.
I don't know.
I felt the same.
I was watching it and I was saying, like, if this guy's trying to get rounds under his belt, he's a psychopath because this is not it. Like, this ain't looking good. Like, you should have checked him out of that building within seconds, man.
Literally.
Like, just to show your attitude. Obviously, you're going to want to get more fights under you, saying you want to keep working. So you want to do it with the least damage as possible anyway. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, nobody ain't got no expectations of that guy to do anything to you. He should have got him checked out of that building. I didn't want to see that go past 3 rounds. Do you know what I'm saying? And again, I don't know whether he done that on purpose. Because if he did, I think it was just a stupid decision anyway. And if he didn't, then it speaks to your level. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What did you make of the highlights?
I don't think he's got the same level of confidence that he once did. I think he's a lot more tentative. And this is why you thought it was staged, isn't it? Because there were times where you expect the old AJ to just go in
And finish
aggressive, finish him, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, why did you stop? Like, what's going on there? You know what I'm saying? But you can see from AJ's face as well, he got hurt a few times. He's bleeding and everything. So
yeah, his eye was swollen.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't staged.
Do you know what annoyed Do you know what annoyed me though? Yeah, sorry, but you see it at the end, and I thought you actually gave me the ick. I couldn't believe it. First and foremost, why are we in WWE that you're coming to do Suck It? That made me scream. Did you not see when he won at the end? And I just thought, get this man out
And
of
then
here.
he just jumped out the ring,
He
started
jumped out the
walking
ring and
around,
started walking
drinking
around.
Guinness from Conor McGregor.
And then you come back and talk about, I need someone to help me look at my back from Cabri. I thought, you're so icky right now. Oh my goodness.
It's the CTE is itching. It was scratching him again.
I thought, oh my gosh, like, have some class and decorum. Nah, he really made me shy. I was rather shy.
Brother.
Have you seen his Godfather impression after the fight?
No.
You
Is
haven't
that
seen
gonna make it worse?
Have you seen? Yeah, haven't seen that?
No, I'm alright, man.
Oh
It's
my
okay.
god! Let me see if I can find that and send that to Brett.
No.
But yeah, man, like, because this same guy, for context as well, fought Deontay Wilder like last year. Yeah, Deontay Wilder got him out of there 1 round. So, like, you can kind of tell that people, because I was saying to my friend,
1 round?
1 round, first round, he knocked him out straight. The guy was asleep. You know what I'm saying? And this was, I think, Deontay Wilder's first fight after a bit of a hiatus, right? But, so you can kind of tell that people are going to kind of compare how AJ does against this guy.
Isn't that a fight that everyone's waiting for?
Huh?
Isn't that a fight that everyone's waiting for?
Yeah, it should be happening hopefully end of the year. Or
I
early
feel like
next year.
Wilder will eat him alive.
I don't want to say it because I want AJ to win. I want him to do well. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, but from what we've
he
been
doesn't
seeing,
show.
I don't know if it's possible.
He just doesn't seem aggressive enough. But I don't know, man. Maybe this fight was something that he needed to make himself believe that, you know what, his game plan and his work with Derek James is going well. You know what I'm saying? So he can go into the next thing. So I'm glad that at least he got a fight in and he kind of can get, because knocking somebody out in 1 round, yeah, it may boost your confidence. But in your mind, I feel like he may also think, wait a minute, this guy only had a week's notice. You know what I'm saying? I've been training X amount of time. I'm not sure if I felt a real challenge to then go against Wilder. So maybe this kind of would help him to feel like, you know what, I'm still, I still got it. I can still take some punches. I can still do certain things and still, you know, persevere and win the fight. But it just doesn't scream that AJ's back. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And I feel like Wilder doesn't fear AJ. I don't think he fears AJ at all. But I feel like AJ, not that he fears Wilder, but I feel like he's more conscious of the fact that he could get hurt by Wilder. You know what I'm saying? And I think as a boxer, it's a very dangerous way to go into a fight, man. But again, I can't wait for it, man. I definitely want to see that fight. But I would love to see AJ knock him out.
Who Wilder?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. But
Brent, if I can send you a DM, can I send you a DM? Or
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, let me see if this works.
see this impression.
Is it really gonna make me sick?
Potentially.
Because I'm not gonna lie, he's already done it for me.
Can you put a little twist on that so she can get sick properly, like the cam, just a little?
I'm looking at Brent's screen even.
Okay.
All right, so
I'm
Go to the
annoyed
next slide.
already.
Turn it up.
Is he doing that song?
Hey, what you want? I don't like to do interviews. You don't know who's listening. You don't know who's watching. How can I help you, man?
Your impression of Godfather, yeah.
Yeah, you can call me two-time Tony. You know what my name is? Two-time Tony.
No, he's down bad.
Welcome to London. My name's Two-time Tony.
He's down bad.
This is my city. Anything you need, come see me. See my boy right there? It's Michael Drummond. He handles business. He's a Panther.
Who is doing that?
He is.
Wait, he's making that noise with... Nah, get him off the screen. Get him off the screen. I'm
What
so
you want?
outraged.
I don't like to do interviews.
Nah, this is.
Don't know who's listening.
You know how corny this
can help
is?
Yeah, this is.
Your impression of Godfather, yeah.
Brent, we've watched it already.
call
Why are you
me
still playing
two-time
it?
This
Tony.
is you lot's king.
No,
Not
this
mine,
is what's
boy.
king. You don't love this man. Just crying when he was getting punched in faces and that.
Nope, not me.
Oh man.
I told you. I thought
You know what? Hopefully AJ comes back and he's everyone's favorite again, man. You like disrespecting AJ, you know. He's the
CT.
former heavyweight champion of the world.
CT
3
is
belts,
acting up.
unified.
Not CTE, it's acting up.
Trust me.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna see. But yeah.
Caicedo,
Oh, 100 and what?
15 plus add-ons, selling clause,
I trust they're gonna get points deducted or something because how are they doing this?
2031.
Well, that's when they pay it.
No, that's when the contract ends. 2031.
Oh, so they could have stretched that over 8 years, the depreciation thing and that. I thought they brought rules in place to stop them doing this from when they done it in January.
I thought what they did.
Apparently, I thought there was.
That was rumors, right?
I don't know. I thought it was facts. I didn't know they was going to do the big contracts. I thought I don't know whether they actually done it or if they're putting something in place, but I saw stuff coming out that there was the FFP are trying to stop that with them stupid contracts. 8 years though, it's a lot of money. How's Liverpool feel?
This is it. They really wanted Caicedo, you know.
It's embarrassing.
This is it, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
No, it's proper embarrassing because you was scrimping and wanted to save 2 million on Lavia, which is a good player. I didn't want to bust the 50. Then you put in 110 for Caicedo, so then now we know you got the money, and then you didn't get him.
That's because his people told them, yeah, do it. And once they did it, Caicedo was like, no, I don't go there.
Yeah, he said, no, I want to stay. I want to keep my word. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, I just think
it must be furious.
Yeah, they must be furious. And I don't know. The Chelsea bought another player last night as well. I just don't understand how they can spend all this money.
Couldn't happen to a better team, to be honest. I mean, 40 plus £1. Yeah.
Boy, Liverpool. Damn bad. That's embarrassing.
And they really needed that.
That's egg on their face. I would have hated if he went to Liverpool.
I would have too.
Because I think Caicedo's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know if he's 115 million cold, but he's cold. I would have hated if he went Liverpool. That wouldn't have been good.
Loons would have been insufferable.
Yeah, I couldn't have dealt with that. Honestly, I couldn't have dealt with that. Hello, caller.
Hey, no, it's Chijoka. I just wanted to call in quickly on the news that I saw. Apparently, Lavia, they've agreed a deal with Liverpool for him as well.
Pardon?
Lavia, they've agreed a deal. Liverpool have agreed a deal with 60 mil.
Oh, what, with
but
Lavia?
He's also saying he's waiting on Chelsea. So I don't know what Liverpool are doing. I don't know who their PR is, but it's a mess.
Yeah, because I saw the story that Chelsea would still kind of be in for Lavia, and I was thinking, there's no chance they take Lavia and Caicedo of Liverpool. That would be horrible. Plus, I'm not a mathematician yet, but I don't understand what's going on. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like whatever accounting they got over there, he's a top boy.
They sold a lot, right? And they raised what 200 and something million.
Yeah, but they're still in the red for Modric in that. They're still, you get me? They're still all them what they're selling. They still got to cover from what they've done in January, bro.
Spread out though.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't big up the accountant because I don't know.
Listen, all I know is if they don't make top 4, they have to go bankrupt because this is crazy. Because I don't understand how they can claim that they're going to get their money back. Because their stadium's not big enough, so they can't claim it on ticket sales. Maybe on merchandising, maybe, but even then, it's like it's not making sense.
I said merchandise. They played the game yesterday without a shirt sponsor, bro.
But this is what I'm saying. Anyway, I don't know. It's all mad over there. But my thing is with Liverpool, I don't know. You might need to talk to your boy Loons. His head must be on Pluto right now.
Oh, we wouldn't even want to talk to Loons about football right now because that would just turn into an all-out argument. That'd be crazy. I want to wait. Let me wait till this evening, get the right result at Old Trafford, then I'll talk to him.
I like that there's so many stories.
But what are you saying for United? Where do you think they're finishing?
Again, more of the same. Third, second. I don't think we can win it yet.
Okay.
What are you saying, Brad?
I like the fact that there's so many side stories to basically like commentate on. Like with Chelsea, they're building a Galacticos type of team, right?
Well, I don't know about Galacticos, but there's a lot of talent over there. It's young, it's exciting to look at. And I told you, even though they got rid of so much and it looks totally different from when I was saying it before, it's not a bad project to be a part of if you, like, Poch seems like a good gaffer.
Poch?
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he's doing his thing, so everybody's saying, Chelsea this, Chelsea that, Chelsea that. And I'm saying, look, we don't know what Chelsea is. You can't write them off. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you definitely can't write them off. They went toe-to-toe with Liverpool.
Colville looks like a good player for them to have kept.
Yeah, Colville.
He looked really good.
Colville's cold. And Enzo's coming into his own. You replace Conor Gallagher with Caicedo. You know what I'm trying to say? That obviously,
yeah, but they missed the trick though because they could have really sold him to West Ham for 40, and I don't know if McTominay's going there now.
Well, yeah, but you can't do it. you probably had to get the saga out of the way, innit? You get me? He's not going there. No, I don't think they would come back in for him. Ward Prowse just got announced today for the 30 million, so they've done that, and they got Alvarez from Ajax, so they moved on from that. You probably need more cover anyway, like and stuff like that. So there's probably no harm in keeping him if he has a good season.
I still think their squad's too big though. There's still players in there that you need to get rid of because.
Like who though? A lot of them we don't know them. It's just bare young boys. Like, so who are you singling out to say that they need to get rid of?
Well, Lukaku's still there. I don't know how they're going to get him off the book.
We're not even counting Lukaku. I'm not even going to lie. I forgot about him.
You have to though, because his wages.
Yeah, but
you have to count.
Spurs are looking at him. What other team? I can't remember. But if they.
But do you see him drop into Spurs though?
Boy, if he wants to play football, he's going to have to go somewhere. He might even have to reconsider Saudi because he's screwed in Italy. He can't go nowhere in Italy. If he's not going to be part of the setup.
Listen,
yeah, if he's not going to be
Chelsea get another player sold to Saudi, that's it. Like, someone needs to step in because it's enough now.
If he wants to play football, he'll have to buck up his ideas up, innit? Like, he'll have to go somewhere. So, and he's a striker. I reckon, again, that is messing up his value and stuff like that. So it'll probably be cheaper than you'd expect and all that. I think if both parties, if he's adamant he don't want to play for Chelsea, and like you're saying, they need to get him off the books, I think they can find something. I don't know where, but there must be something, whether it be a loan move and they pick up the wages and you get a loan fee, or there must be something, bro. You don't think?
Well, yeah. I don't know.
He's not just going to sit there and just rot. What's the point?
Yeah, but it's the optics of him now, because it's wherever you go, there seems to always be an issue really soon in a move. And I think that's the problem. So it's what level do you think you're at the moment? Because I think he still thinks in his head he's one of the best number 9s in the world, but people are going to dispute that.
Yeah, he's miles off it if he thinks that, but I hear him though. Yeah, no, that's an interesting one to look at to see what they do. But he's the only one then, isn't it, that they need to get off the books, really?
That, and then someone needs to go pray for Reece James, because whatever's going on with him and them calves and the hamstrings, every season he's always coming off when he plays well. Something's going on over there.
I didn't see it, but I saw the story broke that Poch was saying that he's not injured, he was just tired. Don't know how much truth. I don't know how much truth there is to that. But it wouldn't make no sense lying, because we'll know if he's injured or not, because whether he's going to play the next game in it. But he said he's not injured, he was just tired.
He's the new captain, isn't it? So I think they're going to have to do good PR for him.
Boy, it's new demands of that of what Poch is like, man. He's playing with fullbacks. I think there's a new formation. I mean, wing backs. But even with his fullbacks, he likes them to go. Remember how he had Ben Davis and flipping, what's the black kid called again?
He had Carl Walker as well, didn't he?
He had them, man, flying. Remember, he needed 4 fullbacks and he'd probably alternate them every game because he wants them to run themselves into the ground. You get me? So it might just be new for them.
It's Thiago Silva that you're worried about, though. If you play him in the 4, if you're flying, you still need that cover to not expose him at 38 now.
Yeah, but there's cover. They got Badishali, Colville. Is there 4 of them? Wait, who's the fourth one? Who's their 4th centre back be?
They've still got Fofana, don't they?
Fofana, he's injured though. Yeah, I think they'll be alright, man.
No, I don't think they'll be. But I'm talking about formation-wise. I think the way he plays, I think he prefers having the 2 centre backs in him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tujoki.
Yeah, that's fine. All right then.
Have a blessed
day.
Yeah. What's that last fight?
What's the last fight?
Navarrete versus Oscar Valdez. It was one of those fights for the boxing purist. But it was a sick fight, man.
Oh, is that why I missed it?
Funny enough, I even forgot as well. So I had to watch the highlights afterwards. But basically, yeah, Navarrete was just on a different level to Valdez, man. And Valdez is a good boxer. Champion. He lost to who did he fight? Was it Stevenson? Pretty sure it was Stevenson he fought. Yeah.
What weight class is that?
This is super featherweight. This is 130, 135. that type of.
Oh, them little whippets.
Yeah. But it was a sick fight, though. Sick fight. Navarrete, I think he broke his hand during the fight. Oscar Valdez, his face was finished. He was just hitting him at will throughout the whole fight. But it was action. It was action-packed.
Oh, was it a good fight, yeah?
Yeah.
Was it worth watching back? Should I go watch it?
Yeah, it's worth it.
I'll go take it in.
But yeah, man, Navarrete held on to his belt, man. And that's it. That's pretty much what happened.
All right, then. Let's get into done out here. I'm going to work my way through some of these stories because they've been here for ages. Our producer, this is the stuff that our producer E-Man wants me to talk about. So you know what? I'm just going to give the people what they want. Who are you saying is done out here in this situation? So, there's a transgender Muslim woman called Brianna Kingsley, and she's suing her ex-boyfriend for keeping her testicles in a jar in his fridge.
Run that again, sorry.
So, Muslim transgender woman Brianna Kingsley, that's her on the left.
Okay.
Is suing her ex-boyfriend, who's on the right, because he's got her testicles in his fridge.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, a few words come to mind. Astaghfirullah.
What?
This is...
Yeah.
You know what? You can't put your head in your hands, bro. Man's put this here for me. I've avoided it for weeks. I don't understand what you want me to talk about here. Like, you get what I'm saying? I don't know what you want me to talk about here, but she's suing him, and demanded that he returns the testes as well as damages to be paid, totaling to $6,500, which says the testicles are only worth $3,250 each. What price would you put on your testicles, man?
Priceless.
I think it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not even gonna lie.
That's crazy.
I think it's pretty cheap. I thought you would have wanted millions.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? Apparently, when they broke up,
As a souvenir?
huh?
Keeping them as a souvenir, you're a collector?
No, I'm not saying I would. What? Sorry, what? what have you said?
I understand. Like, it's been chopped off.
Yeah. So what?
You would want
more money for them?
Yeah. What's the sentimental value attached to them? No, they're not attached to you.
I get what you're saying, but wouldn't you put more value on your testicles? I would. I thought there'd be more. Like you said, they're priceless.
How much would you sell? I can't understand the question I'm about to ask you right now. How much would you sell your testicles for?
I wouldn't sell my testicles. Priceless.
I walked into that.
But in my mind, like I'm saying, like I'm guessing this is in America, right?
Oh, she's Muslim.
Yeah.
Yes.
She converted to Islam.
But that's the humdinger.
Brother. Who's done that here anyway? Her for whatever.
No, the person who's keeping someone's testicles in their fridge
is done
is
at
100% done at it. Because why is anyone's testicles in your fridge?
How did this
purpose?
come about?
Maybe it was a gift. Because they were together, innit?
But what are you looking at testicles for? Like, what do you do with them?
It's probably just out of spite. But it's still his, in
You
his
know
mind,
some
innit?
spiteful things that you do, yeah? Like, you have to have some respect with your spite. That's the most shameless pettiness I ever met.
This is nasty.
What is
that?
those testicles?
Is that the testicles?
In a medical bag?
Yeah.
Huh? Obviously, I missed it.
It's hazardous.
I can't go back over that. Sorry.
A trans woman, her ex kept her testicles in his fridge. Is keeping her testicles in his fridge. Why? This is what I'm saying.
Doesn't want to give it back.
He's the
They
one who's
split
done it. Right. He's the one who's done it. Because why are you keeping someone's testicles in your fridge? That's a sick thing to do. That's giving Jeffrey Dahmer.
Literally.
That's a sicko. You need to look into him. He's a killer.
Yeah, but the guy said, I'll be telling my lawyer about
And she
this.
got it back now. Is this why she's like proudly parading around?
Is that her?
Oh.
I thought it was grandma or something.
No, that's...
Right.
We're not getting phone calls about testicles, bro. What the hell do people think this is?
This is all E-man's fault anyway.
I blame the caller. Good morning, caller.
You're right.
Yeah, definitely blame you, bro.
I just wanted to say one thing. So basically, I was really shocked. I saw a YouTube short the other day, and there was
You
someone.
should do voice work in TV, by the way.
Thank you so much, Mark.
No, but you should do them T's and C's, terms and conditions for ads. You want to tell you buy one, get one free, but they tell you got to sell your soul. You say so quick, they wouldn't even know.
Basically, guys, when you have a baby sometimes, you unfortunately have a few tears down there. I saw a YouTube short and I was a bit confused. Then I looked to the comments and I came to understand that basically, the audacity, some doctors will say, oh, do you want me to add an extra stitch in there for you to the husband? So basically, like if they have a tear, they're asking the husband if they want to make the woman's vagina a little bit tighter than what it initially was in order for the husband's pleasure. That's ridiculous. I don't even understand what healthcare professional gave the testes to the other man.
That's got to be in third world countries.
Any sense whatsoever. And after, third world countries, Esther, it'd be casually spoken about in like American hospital like places, if that makes sense. It's more like basically, third world countries, but also in toxic environments where like there's that whole boys will be boys type bullshit. And like, I hope that makes sense. I'll stop there. But yeah, bye guys.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. Reading a bit more of this, what it seems like is in that video where she's showing the testes, I think that was after the surgery or something. So that she hasn't got it back. That was just after the surgery.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. And so the man's got it in his house.
This conversation is so stinky. Yeah. This conversation actually stinks.
Not as bad as...
Someone's actually got balls up in the
So
fridge.
the doctor's handed over the testicles to the...
No, to him.
To him?
No, to her. And then her gave it to him.
All right, let's get into our actual.
Oh yeah, I'm tired. Please, please.
I'm so irritated. I'm so stupid. Anyways, thanks for tuning into the show. Please like the video. I hope the likes are making sense. Thank you guys for tuning in. Pick up the callers from today. Follow us on social media platforms, The Day After TNB on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, if you want to send your dilemmas in, the number is 075 6484 1073. If you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Have a great Monday.
Peace.